Look at this, y'all. Something. For all you mutant species, that don't want to go, you don't want to go live, so you can call in. You feel free to call in today. What's up, my YouTube family? Abundance, supreme YouTube family. Give me a second, YouTube family. Let me talk to Instagram. So, Instagram. What's up? What's up? Peace, abundance to y'all. So listen, I'm on YouTube right now. I just clicked the YouTube live. I got a couple videos that I want to share just to drive my point home. And I also want to say, shout out to the pink skin race. Shout out to the hybrid, the mutating species that always try to jump on any little thing that I say that I might say wrong when it comes to science, but they will not explain. I have not seen one of them explain how did the fuck a monkey, a fruit fly, a muskrat, a zebrafish, a cow, a cat, a worm became a part of your genetics? How did that happen? You want to talk about the left and right ventricle of the heart, but what about the left and right ventricle, lateral ventricle of the brain? So he was right and I was right at the same fucking time. But my whole thing is nothing, no matter what you speak about when it comes to the anatomy, the brain, the heart, the functionality never change. However, we are two different complete and total species. And I haven't found anyone to justify and explain that. Yo, what's up, John? Abundance. I'm on YouTube Live. This is going to be a pure call-in show. And I made sure I did this at a right time. 11:49 p.m. at night. That means I got the West Coast, East Coast, Central America. I got Europe. I got Russia. I got motherfucking Africa. Everybody can tune in tonight. And I'm built for this shit tonight. Because guess what? I was on African time in America and I went to sleep. I fell asleep. I was asleep for hours. Sleep for hours. So I'm ready. Listen, all the comments, understand something. The people that are in the comments, and I want you to understand something, please. You can write down your long ass soliloquies all you want. All you got to do is call in. Nobody needs to hear. Nobody needs to know what your face look like. Nobody needs to know what your face look like. The phone number is right there. Call in and debunk me. That's all. Debunk. It ain't even me. Debunk your own scientist that says that you are a genetic mutation, that you are not natural to this planet, this atmosphere. Cannot, your body is not conducive to a planet that thrives off of solar radiation. Your body is recessive. So therefore, if you are a recessive species, how did you get here? Who played the trick on you? That's all I want to know. Where's the number? It's right there on my YouTube. Hold on, let me flip my YouTube around so you can see this. Let me flip this around so you can see this. I'm right on YouTube right now. Hold on, people. Let me help some of these people out here on Instagram. You know what I mean? Let me tell you, let me help, because I know how the mutant species work. Trust me, I know how y'all work. Kalai, you was wrong about the left and right ventricle of the heart. No, I said the left and right ventricle of the brain. It's a lateral ventricle. He was right about the left ventricle of the heart, but that doesn't change the functionality. What does the heart do? It doesn't change that. You are an unnatural species. Too easy. So give me 1 second here. I want to pull my channel up. Pull my channel up. View your channel. Here you go, right here. This is my channel right here. That's it right there. There you go. There you go. That's it right there. For the hybrids. Hey, did you get the video I sent you? I just sent. No, hold on. Matter of fact, John, I need to check that video out that you sent me. Which one was it that what was that? Oh, yeah. I'm ready. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get off of YouTube. I'm gonna get off of Instagram, and I'm gonna click on that video. I'm gonna get off Instagram and I'm gonna click on that video because I want to see what that is. I want to see what that is. And you know I'm gonna get my bag. I'm gonna definitely get my bag because I want to see how many of them call in and actually can explain their existence. Yes, I have to. I'm gonna get off of here and then I'm gonna check that video out. Matter of fact, John, can you text the video to the other phone number, the 215, the one that's on the screen? Text it to this phone. I know you don't never have this number. You always call me direct on my direct phone. Text it here so I can pull it up real quick and then I can share it if you can. If you can text it to the 215, it's on the 215-809-0259, the call-in number. If you can text it here. Oh, there we go. Let me see something here.
Hello?
Abundance, Supreme. Who am I speaking with?
Supreme, you talking to James.
What's going on, James? How you doing?
Good. But I'm seeing you're going on the white race too much. Like you're going hard on them for no reason. But can I teach you something?
No, hold on for one.
Unlearn and relearn some things.
All right, hold on for 1 second. So right. I'm going. Let's start with this. What is your nationality?
I am Haitian American.
You're a Haitian American. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Now, so me speaking about genetics and our differences, that's going on too hard to them?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Wait a second. So 400 years of outright genocidal abuse, slave camps, scientific experiments, the raping and the abuse of women and children, not 4 days, not 4 weeks, not 4 hours. For 400 years, they did this under a lie, underneath scientific, using fake science and the fact of God.
Yeah.
Okay, and all I'm doing is speaking about our scientific differences. That's going too hard.
I know, but look, listen, but you're hiding the hands though. It's our fault because who was here first, right?
No. I don't give a fuck who was here first, bro. I don't give a fuck who was here first. Honeybees did not go and enslave flies. Honeybees didn't come and fuck with flies. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't give a fuck who was here first. We didn't touch them. We tried to help them. No, we tried to help them when we stumbled upon them. No, we didn't.
We created them.
All right, explain to me how we created them.
Okay. You never heard the theory of Yakub, right?
That's a theory. Once again, not a scientific fact. Once again, see? Go ahead.
And then the black nobilities, they're behind the white folks that's doing all these disasters
and
everything.
And who's the black nobilities that's doing this?
Them black Canaanites. There's black Canaanites.
I'm asking you, who are they?
Just the black Canaanites. I said black Canaanites. I can't be Pacific.
Well, if you can't be Pacific, then you don't know what you're just regurgitating something that you think that is right. First of all, you started off with Yakub. Yakub being subplanter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you guys, what?
That's the true facts, though.
That's that. You just how the hell can you take a theory and call it a fact? That's a theory, bro. That's not a fact. That's someone's opinion. That's not a scientific fact.
But we created the Europeans. That's what's the problem. Like, you gotta blame our own folks.
How did we create them?
One of the coons of the niggas. You feel me? They hated our own kind.
So tell me exactly how the process took place that we created them.
Black folks made electric, right? Black folks made light, showers, everything. they're pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna like fucking televise this and tell them, oh, they clone these or made these type of species. You know. Black
So
people
how
do
do
that.
you know this? This is what I'm asking you. Everything that I speak about is proven through scientific facts. You just gave me
Scientific could be false.
you giving me everything that you just stated is a theory. Everything that I'm talking about is scientific facts, bro.
Okay,
so
but
again,
the scientific facts come from the Europeans, right?
No, the scientific facts come from the dissecting of black people and other races of people by other species. Absolutely. That they documented in their medical books.
Okay, but who's the black person that's saying all this?
It's not a black.
You're not giving me no facts.
It's not.
You're just reading off a book that European just said that.
Wait a minute. Hold on for a second. Once again, you can't change the functionalities of your heart, your liver. You can't change the functionalities of how an atom starts to be the building block of your phenotype. You can't change the fact of the body producing certain aminos and proteins that they don't produce. So you can't change that. Let me finish. If you can't change that functionality, right, then that means you can't lie about how the anatomy is operating and where the anatomy came from, the epidemiology of an anatomy, meaning the core of it. You can't change that. So again, if you can't change it, but you can change history. You can play around with who was on this landmass, who was over here. You can do that, but you can't.
But why are you going so hard about the Europeans?
It's not just the Europeans.
It's deeper than that. You're just drafting the star seeds. Though.
It's not.
Star seeds.
Let me you ask a question. Let me answer your question. It's not just the Europeans. It's any species, Asian, Arab, that has pinks, that has animal DNA. That's why.
Did they help you read? Yes.
No, they didn't. They didn't help me read.
Car? Yes.
They didn't. So you saying, did they help me read and did they help me drive a car?
Yes. You're driving one
how old are
car.
how old are
you? The car you drive is not owned by a black man.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30 years old, right? Let me just say this to you, right? I'm gonna let you know something, right? You have been successfully indoctrinated. The first car that was ever invented was by black people. And then they slaughtered the black person after the black person showed them how they actually invented or created the car. And I honestly want you to go back and actually do some research. Wait a minute. Let me finish speaking. You made several theories and made several accusations when it come down to these people and regarding us, and more importantly, me, why I'm going so hard. You either, in my personal opinion, listening to you either are dating these people, you're either dating these people, or you have been successfully indoctrinated that you would love to live like these people. And I totally get it. I get it. I'm not going back and forth with you.
Can I say my 2 cents though?
Yeah, you didn't let me finish. You kept interjecting with me. So go ahead. Now I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Okay. Just listen for a second, okay? I date a Haitian woman. Okay, I don't date no other race or nothing.
Move forward.
And then, the power grid is gonna go out, right? So you're drilling these seeds in these people's head. It's a race war. This is this and that. And this.
So wait a minute. No, wait a minute. You made another false accusation. So I'm drilling this in there. Listen, I have to interject because you made another false accusation. You said that I'm creating a race war. That's what you stated, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how am I creating a race war to say that we are two different species?
Well, when you're telling the other species, like, oh, you're made out of horsefly and all this type of creature.
Right. So no. I didn't tell them that. Wait a minute. Hold on for one second. I didn't tell them that. Hold on. Here you go. I didn't tell them that. You see my screen right there? You see my screen? Do you see that right there? Can you see my? Yes. Are you on YouTube right now?
Yes.
Okay. So do you see what my screen says?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't tell them that. Science is telling them that.
Well, but Well, it's coming out your mouth. It's like sound like a rage gate to them.
Well, hold on for 1 second. So hold on for 1 second. So you telling me that their scientists dissected us and them, and now the independent scientists that are not controlled by government but actually want the truth to come out have released this information regarding their anatomy and my anatomy. They're not the problem.
In the Bible, God said He'll make creatures.
Once again, their scientists, independently from the government, that use the same instruments that the government use, did their research as far as dissecting, looking at cells, muscle tissue samples, bones, doing their due diligence, and come to find out that these people that looks like them share this amount of DNA with these different type of species, and so-called black people don't. So again, are they racist? Are they creating a race war?
Nah, it's
okay.
We're just stuck from the past.
So
you know what I'm saying?
How is that in the past? These people are still existing. The animal DNA didn't go anywhere. So how is it still? How that don't make any sense to me? DNA is past, present, and future.
Yeah, but you can't get really mad at them for it. Like you're getting angry because they got an animal DNA or whatever DNA they have. You can't get mad at them.
No, I'm not angry. Wait a minute. I'm not angry at them. See, once again, you're making another false assumptions because you know why?
Now you're being a narcissist.
No, well, wait a minute. Don't gaslight me, bro. Listen, you've been given false assumptions since you've been on the line, and I allowed you to speak, and all I'm doing is rebuting what you're saying. That's it, with facts. So you call me, you call in here and said that I'm attacking another person. You called in and said that I am being racist and I'm causing a race war when I didn't put none of this genetic information on the screen. They put this on the screen based off of their scientific analysis of the human anatomy. That's what they did. So let me finish.
Let me rephrase my words. Like, why are you so disappointed about that? Like,
okay, let me give you an answer. Let me give you an answer. 400 years of genocidal acts of abuse from 1619 to 1719. Over 274,000 women, children, and men were killed per day. That was 1.9 million a week. 2 continents, Brazil and Australia, 2 continents full of black people were wiped out with zoonotic and Himalaya's disease because of their blood inside of their semen that raping us. What do you mean?
Okay. Now I'm going to say this. What are we doing about it? We're just talking about it.
Well, no.
What are we doing about it?
Okay, here we go.
Gathering our black armies, our soldiers, or what?
Hold on for 1 second. Let me shut my door for a second. So you wait a minute. So now you went from me causing a race war, me being racist towards these people. You went from that. You're going now to asking me, what are we doing about it? Okay, so let me explain something to you. If our children knew this from the time of birth, that these people are a complete, total different species than us, guess what? Our children wouldn't feel inferior. Our children wouldn't put themselves in a position of consuming their world and putting themselves in disadvantageous situation, whereas though that they are getting psychological and physically abused. Our women wouldn't be going inside of their hospital and being examined by a species that is unnatural to the planet and literally have no fucking medical. They literally are a species that's a parasite. This is scientific facts. Our women wouldn't be doing that. More importantly, we wouldn't trust our future generation mentally or physically in the hands of a species that is completely artificial and is dangerous at that.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Do souls got race or DNA? Are we like selected by different colors or race?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. You're asking me, do souls?
Yes.
Okay, so in order for you to have a soul, you actually have to come through the sun. That's why they call the sun soul. You actually have to come through the sun, and they're recessive.
So I remember you saying on the live that you could be, black folks could be reborn again, right?
Yeah, we can. We have been. This is what you see right now, right?
What if my mission was to be reborn to a white body?
You can't do that. That's virtually impossible.
How you know that?
Because your soul, your body is a representation of your soul. Your soul, your body, your soul is neuromelanin. Your soul is condensed. Let me finish. You asked me a question. You asked me a question, so I'm giving you an answer. Now, if you don't want the answer, then why would you ask the question?
And I'm just trying to correct you. Where you wrong at?
Well, where am I wrong? Tell me how.
My brother, man, we all lost. We just trying to teach each other.
No. I'm not lost, brother. I'm not lost. You may be lost. So don't put that. Don't project your intellect on me. Don't project your intellect on me. The soul represents the body. The soul is made of cosmic particles, aka the sun and the cosmos. Your body is what you can look it up called black body radiation. Your body is a representation of your soul. It encapsulates your soul. So your body is for you to have a physical experience, but it doesn't disconnect you from the sun and the cosmos. So why would I reincarnate in a body that completely disconnects me from the sun and the cosmos?
I'm just saying the body is just a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? We're not going.
It's not just a vehicle. To you, it's a vehicle because that's what you have been taught. Because you are a human.
So when you pass away in this life, you taking this vessel you have on you?
No, this vessel feeds the earth. My soul, thermodynamics, energy don't die; it just transfers. So I just reincarnate into another body. That's what I do.
That's what you believe?
No, that's not what I believe. That's something I know. This has been proven already through science. Reincarnation.
You see, that's Egyptian type of stuff.
Egyptian. I got you, man. So listen, I had enough conversation with you at this particular time and moment. What I would suggest that you do is go actually do some reading, all right? Do some better researching on yourself. 30 years old, your frontal lobe should be, you should sharpen it up a little bit more than that. All right.
I know the fans are know what I'm saying though.
I don't know what you mean. They're not fans. I don't understand what you mean by fans.
Or your people, whatever. They know.
I got you. No, actually, if you listen to, if you actually read some of the comments, be like, nah. Yeah. So again, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, bro. There's no need for me to continue to go back and forth with someone that
just keep learning. I just keep learning.
Yeah, I will tell you. That's what I would tell you to do. You stop learning. That's the problem.
Both of us start learning.
No, you've been indoctrinated, bro. And I don't want to go back and forth with you no more.
How? We free ourselves from the slaves.
All right, you're right. All right, we have a great day, okay? Khalid starts a race war. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. I don't even think he could have saw my screen because I didn't even share my fucking screen. I was looking at it for myself. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me share it. Let me share my screen. This is crazy. Khalid starts a race war. So I put this information on the screen. I documented this and put this here. Human and chimpanzees share about 98 of the same DNA. I put this information here. I did this. Black people did this. Black people did this. This is what black people did. We did this. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. Black people did this. Hold on, let me play this video.
I'm Richard D. Hall. Today I am going to be talking about the work of Nigel Kerner. Now, Nigel authored his first book in 1997.
All right. You got to turn me off in your background. All right. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Khalid. State your name, city, and state where you're from in your opinion.
Peace, Khalid. You hear me, man?
I can hear you.
All right. I'm in Columbus. My name's Rob. That dude that just called, bro, check it. Look, we got to do a lot of straightening out. That's a spy that you just got off the phone with. What we have to realize as natal to Earth, not even natal to Earth, even though we are natal to Earth, immigrants are spies, and that's the problem with our people in this country is we view all skin folk as kinfolk, and that's a huge problem. Now, I have no problem with anyone who's from a different continent/country, but here's what we have to realize, Kalai. When they come to the United States of America, they all swear an oath to become a citizen of this country, and they become spies for the United States Corporation. He is a Haitian. He is a Haitian spy for the American government. This is all facts, bro. And to anybody that doesn't believe me, just type in Hitler allegiance oath, and that's where the Americans got it from. It's called the allegiance oath, and every immigrant takes one, and they become spies for the United States government. So if you are a Negro from North America, be very wary of Africans, Latinos, etc., because they all take what is called the immigration oath, which is a loyalty allegiance oath, and they spy. That was a troll. He knows what time it is, but he's in here to do his bidding. Also, we have to stop calling white people white. We also have to stop calling them European. We need to call them by their scientific name, which is troglodyte nigger. That is the so-called white boy's scientific name. Troglodyte, the caveman. Nigger is a scientific term for chimpanzee. And if you don't believe me, just look at the evolution picture, and you'll see he evolves from the chimpanzee. Why? Because he's a nigger. He's a troglodyte nigger. This is not disrespect. This is not anything. This is being politically correct. He's not a white boy, and he damn sure ain't European, considering the oldest fossils everywhere in Europe come from Moorish descent. So we need to really wake up, clap on the lights, and it is what it is, man. And also to everyone in the chat, I want you guys to watch a video after you tune into Kalai. You need to type this in on YouTube and pay very serious attention to what they are trying to do. The video is called King Alfred Plan, and the scholar that gives the presentation, his name is Ray Hagins. That is Kingafred, Alfred, Alfred, Plan, Plan, and the scholar is Ray Hagins. Ray Hagins, King Alfred Plan. You need to wake up. There's no point in really getting prepared, because it is what it is. We're born to live a life and die, so there's really no, it just is what it is. But we really need to wake up and stop the bullshit. Like that brother that just called you, that's 30 years old. That's sad to me. Like, that's sad. You took it much better than I would have, because he was extremely disrespectful. His ignorance was bliss, and it was offensive. I just want to say shout outs to you, what you do. The people who know what time it is are very, very, very thankful for brothers like you who have a platform that can educate melanated children, because fat white women shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Abundance and gratitude, my brother. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
So like I said, stop calling them white. Stop calling them European. We are the European. Some of us, not all of us. So if you have a European last name, that literally means your ancestors were probably Europeans who were Moorish from Europe. Wake up. Stop giving the devil credit for something he didn't do. Period. And like I said, like I said, the Negroes of America. If you are a Negro from America, and when I say Negro, I'm just using a term that everybody can understand. We might not be Negroes, we might be, but we're damn sure not black. That didn't exist until the 1600s.
Facts.
Wake up.
Facts.
But anyway, like I said, be very wary of Africans, Latinos, Caucasians, Arabics, and Asians who are in this country. They swore a United States Corporation loyalty allegiance oath to the government, and they are spying on you. Also, let me drop some science on that Nolan Wells case. Nolan Wells was probably killed in a fraternity ritual. I did a little research, and I think he was in a fraternity. I'm not going to say that was 100% factual, but if he is in a fraternity, the only thing that happened was he had white frat boys who killed him. They did the same thing in my state about 20 years ago. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, like I said, and there was a tragic drowning that happened in Hilliard, Ohio. This is Hilliard, Ohio. You can look this up. Hilliard, listen to this, Kalai. This was Hilliard, Ohio. A melanated brother fell into a water mass and drowned. And the white people said he fell and he drowned. His parents said he couldn't swim. So check this. 2 years after that, I'm in jail I'm in the home, and next to me was a melanated brother who, what do you know? He was from Hilliard, and he told me what happened that night because he was there. They pushed that nigga in the fucking water, and he died. That's what's going on. So all the females and males who think it's cool to join the Divine Nine and sororities, you are fucking disgusting. And the Most High will have his way with you. And when I say Most High collide, I don't mean no fuckboy Christianity, no fuckboy Islam, no fuckboy Buddhism, no fuckboy Hinduism, none of that bullshit, which may or may not have been given to us by the Peckerwood. Because he was right. There is such thing as the black nobility. But nonetheless, wake up. Kalai, I love you, brother. Take care.
Appreciate you, my brother. Love you more. Well, that was very passionate, and he definitely dropped some gems in there, you know. And for me, when it comes down to looking at our people, when it comes to literally wanting to be involved around these people, wanting to be a part of these people, and they end up being dead, fuck them. I let them go in about their business. You put yourself in disadvantageous situation, fuck it. Go ahead. I don't care. See, that don't bother me no more. When I see black people, you know, around these people and they end up dead or something else take place with them, that shit don't bother me no more. I say that's what's supposed to happen. That's a message. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Kalai. State your name, city, and state where you're coming from and your opinion.
Hey, Kalai, it's the Haitian dude. That person that you was on the phone with was a white dude that said the N-word.
Bro, do me a favor. Why are you calling back on my phone? Me and you don't have anything else to discuss. You couldn't be concerned about what somebody else just did. The bottom line is that your level of ignorance is very, you know, bliss. And he's right about that. Your level of ignorance is very bliss.
You're agreeing with the European.
No, I don't listen. Once again, you're over talking me and you're being rude again. You called in and I gave you your opportunity, and you're calling in, right? So have a great one. You calling back? This doesn't make any sense. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Kalai. State your name, city, and state where you calling from.
Yes, brother Kalai. This is Christian Cervantes from Omaha, Nebraska.
How are you today?
I'm good, brother.
Okay.
Good. No, brother. I just agree with everything you're saying. My question is, just personally for me, I felt a little bit off the spiritual track. And of course, I want to help my sister out, but I noticed I can help myself more as a man because I cannot protect a woman until I can protect myself. What would you suggest I do personally?
You said you're trying to help your sister out?
Yes, but in order to do that, I have to help myself, you know.
Absolutely. So what I would tell you, take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself mentally and physically. You know, exercise, read, you know, strengthen your weaknesses. Anything that you feel weak at, make sure you strengthen it because you will constantly be tested on your weaknesses. So, and being a better example for your sister.
I understand what you mean, Kalai, because she really depends on me. Like, I know she does. Are you familiar, just like a little off topic, with the stone moldavite, or you don't really get into that? Just one. With
the stone moldavite, no, I don't really get into the crystals and stones like that. There's a brother that I do get my crystals and stone that makes my pieces. His name is Carbon_999, I believe. He's on Instagram. He's more diverse in that field than I am.
Fair enough, but I'll ask you one more question as well. I don't want to waste your time. Time is precious. And yes, are you familiar with the Sundance by any chance?
Sundance?
Yes.
No, I mean, no, I'm not familiar with the Sundance.
So this is what I just did. So I mess with the Native Americans. So I want to see what do you think of this. we dance around a tree for 4 days, 4 nights, no food, no water, but we enjoy pure sunlight. Would you say that's a good practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect.
I wouldn't go against that. Absolutely. Trees are the neural network of this planet. Trees hold a lot of information. Absolutely.
That's beautiful. I'm gonna just keep going on my way, Pilot. I pray you. I'm honestly really glad you do more call-ins. I pray you do more of those in the future. And yeah, man, I have nothing but peace and appreciation for you. One last question: what, in your opinion, what do you see collectively for 2027? I'm so sorry, I should have.
No, it's fine. What I see collectively to 2027, I believe in 2020. In my personal opinion, I just see the planet starting to shut down and everybody starting to come to the realization that the world in which we were living for the last 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, now it won't be like that in the future. The resources won't be the same, and the collectiveness of the integration of species won't be the same either. Yeah, we won't be integrated like this anymore. The sun is separating us, regardless of we want it to or we don't want it to. The sun is separating us.
Fair enough, brother. I'm gonna just I have a job where I'm outside walking all the time. I connect with nature. I just ask the universe to protect me because some of my brothers are still who work with me. They're still indoctrinated. Even though I cannot help them, I pray that by example, I show them a better way. Brother.
No doubt, my brother. I appreciate that.
Yep. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. I'm gonna just continue watching your video. Peace and blessings upon you, brother. Take care.
Likewise. So, do you know what this is, my people, right here? You share this much DNA with what? 90% cat, 80% cow, 98% mouse, 60%. This is a chicken, 50% with a banana, 70%. This is the first time I actually seen a slug. They share 70% with a slug. Man, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. This is real crazy. And hold on, let me play this video real fast, my people. Before we get another call in, let me play this video real fast. Where are we at? Here we go.
Entitled The Song of the Greys. He wrote another book in 2010 entitled Grey Aliens and the Harvesting of Souls. Now, to discuss these books, I'm joined today by two of Nigel's researchers, Danielle Silverman. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
And Professor John Biggerstaff. Welcome, John.
Hello, Richard. Given this scenario and what Nigel hypothesizes is that really in the same way that I mess with organisms on plates, that these guys were messing with us as a species, really looking for advantageous genetics. They only care about whether they can mess with our genes more efficiently. And it turns out that the molecule melanin, actually, when we mess with genetics and stuff, one of the ways in which we can do it is to use things like ultraviolet light to actually splice the genes in the cells and actually alter the genetics or to get things to, things we put in to actually take so that we can almost microsurgically implant them in the cells. The thing is, if these cells have got a lot of melanin in them, it's a dark pigment, it tends to absorb that light and diffract it and turn it into vibrations, etc. And then the light just doesn't get where it's really supposed to go. And faster if deliberately put in there.
Right.
But there is a special, do you want to explain the special about melanin and how it protects?
So let's start this over.
Welcome to Rich Planet.
I want to start that over because I want the people in the background. See, I'm on YouTube, Instagram, I'm on YouTube. I'm over here. So once again, who I'm playing right now are biologists. These are scientists that do their own independent research, and this is what they have come out and they have found. And when they find this information, it does something to them psychologically, emotionally, and it really disturbs them, because when you find these scientific findings, because their whole thing is trying to find a reasoning. They're trying to find a reasoning for their existence. This is what the whole thing is. that these pink skin animal DNA people are trying to find a reasoning for their existence. They're trying to find a birthplace where they came from other than just popping up out of the Caucasus Mountain. Let me play this again.
TV, I'm Richard D. Hall. Today I am going to be talking about the work of Nigel Kerner. Now, Nigel authored his first book in 1997 entitled The Song of the Greys. He wrote another book in 2010 entitled Grey Aliens and the Harvesting of Souls. Now, to discuss these books, I'm joined today by two of Nigel's researchers, Danielle Silverman. Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
And Professor John Biggerstaff. Welcome, John.
Hi, Richard. Given this scenario and what Nigel hypothesizes is that really in the same way that I mess with organisms on plates, that these guys were messing with us as a.
You heard what he just said? The same way. Did you hear what he just said? The same way that I mess with organisms on plates is the same way these guys were messing with us. Let's keep it moving. And he gives an explanation on how. Let's go.
Species really looking for advantageous genetics. They only care about whether they can mess with our genes more efficiently. And it turns out that the molecule melanin, actually, you know, when we mess with genetics and stuff, one of the ways in which we can do it is to use things like ultraviolet light to actually splice the genes in the cells and actually.
Remember what I said to you. I said this before I watched this video, but I knew this from watching a previous biologist and geneticist was speaking about this. CRISPR, Cas9, how you cut into genetics. You can't cut into our genetics. You can cut into their genetics, and in exchange, you can take shit out and put shit in. You can do that with their genetics. In order for you to cut in genetics, you need ultraviolet light. The same thing that's what UVC radiation is doing right now. UVC radiation is a detoxifier, a germ killer, a mutating wavelength. This is what UVC radiation is. And UVC radiation acts just like the ultraviolet light that these species on this planet is using to cut and splice and fuse DNA together. It's just UVC radiation is natural and it's coming from the sun versus these entities are using something unnatural to create a unnatural species. So let's finish. Let's finish here. Let me go back just a little bit.
Whether they can mess with our genes more efficiently. And it turns out that the molecule melanin, actually, you know, when we mess with genetics and stuff, one of the ways in which we can do it is to use things like ultraviolet light to actually splice the genes in the cells and actually alter the genetics or to get things to, you know, things we put in to actually take so that we can almost microsurgically implant them in the cells. The thing is, if these cells have got a lot of melanin in them, it's a dark pigment, it tends to absorb that light and diffract it and turn it into vibrations, etc. And then the light just doesn't get where it's really supposed to go. And faster if deliberately put in there.
Right.
But there is a special, do you want to explain the special about melanin and how it protects the cell, the DNA inside the nucleus?
I
That's
mean,
very important.
Part of the reason you can't do these experiments, you know, where there's a lot of melanin around, the melanin actually in a lot of people, in black people, it's actually spread out through the skin. It spreads out through the cells and covers everything from the actions of the ultraviolet
there's no
light.
doubt in people with higher melanin.
So just listen, right? If you notice when he started to speak about melanin specifically, right, and the melanin that coats so-called black people's skin and our cells, if you notice how he started fumbling over his words, being, you know what I mean, like he didn't want to say it, but he had no other choice but to say it. He didn't want to say it. You see her, look, she all in. She all in. She like, listen, it is what it is. She all in. So, but look, let me rewind it, and I want you to listen to.
Natural high melanin.
Pause. I want you to listen to how he started talking about it. Just look. He started fumbling over his words.
Right.
But there is a special. Do you want to explain the special about melanin and how it protects
Look,
the cell?
She all in. Look at his face. She all in. Look at his face. It's not that he ain't in there, but she all in.
And faster if deliberately put in there.
Right.
But there is a special. Do you want to explain the special about melanin and how it protects the cell, the DNA inside the
Yeah,
nucleus.
I
That's
mean,
very
yeah,
important.
part of the reason you can't do these experiments, where there's a lot of melanin around, the melanin actually in a lot of people, in black people, it's actually spread out through the skin. It spreads out through the cells and covers everything
right.
from the actions of the
But there's
ultraviolet
no
light.
doubt in people with higher melanin, natural higher melanin, that it's far more likely that melanin will be coating the nucleus,
Yeah.
the cell wall of the nucleus of the DNA. Now, the point about that is that ultraviolet light, which is often used to splice DNA, is blocked by that melanin. It absorbs it. It doesn't allow it in to interfere with the DNA. And it could well be, and this is Nigel's thesis, that this was a blocker for them when they were trying to genetically alter the species. And therefore,
She said, what she say? It was a blocker for them. It's a blocker. So no matter what these species on the planet try to do to get us to alter our genes, let me explain something to you. If they could alter our genetics, then that means they will alter the way that we think and how we see and how we view the world. We will be more cannibalistic people. We will be more pansexual people. We will be more violent people. We will be just like the species in which they created. We will be just like them. They wouldn't need to create another species if they could alter our genes. This is the whole purpose of creating another species. If they could alter us, then they wouldn't need to create the pink skin race. Moving right along.
it doesn't allow it in to interfere with the DNA. And it could well be, and this is Nigel's thesis, that this was a blocker for them when they were trying to genetically alter the species. And therefore, when maybe just out of random mutation, something like an albino came along, they discovered, wow, we can get straight in.
Right.
And it may well be that the paler skinned nation, people on the earth, maybe have that pale skin because of this genetic experimentation to make things easier for them to work on human DNA. And in fact, Professor Steve Jones argues that this thing about vitamin D being, pale skin being there to allow vitamin D to be absorbed and so on, all these theories about why pale skin happened in the first place, he believes it's not an adequate explanation. There is no real explanation or justification for the need for pale skin at all.
Yeah, because I think if
Dark skin is always an advantage in every circumstance.
Right, because most people would just automatically assume, well, they went to live in the north where there's less sun,
Yes.
so therefore their skin changed colour. But that's not
No.
the case.
According to Professor Steve Jones, an eminent professor of biology, that is absolute nonsense.
Right. Okay.
So wait a minute. So all you pink skinned people that want to come to me and call me racist and say, like Jane Elliott said, well, black people, when we were, life started in Africa. And then what happened is a group of people decided to leave where mangoes, papaya, lemons, limes, blueberries, grapes, watermelon, cucumbers. We decided to leave that area and go up in the motherfucking cold. Wait a minute. You can't make this shit up, people. I mean, you can't make this shit. Wait a minute. We decided to leave. One of us said, yo, bro, check this out. This watermelon, these motherfucking delicious ass grapes and oranges and kiwis and mangoes and papaya and all that shit, man, fuck that. We want to go up in the motherfucking mountains and eat goats and fucking and whatever else animal we can find up there. We're going to eat that. We're going to trade this in. We're going to trade this 95-degree climate weather in. Beautiful ass ocean, beautiful ass beach, ocean, blue clear water. We're gonna trade all that shit in and go from the equator up in the mountains. And we're gonna hunt bear. We're gonna hunt motherfucking buffaloes. We're gonna eat that shit. Who the fuck do y'all think y'all talking to? You can't. You ask any black person right now. Hey, I'm going to pay for your vacation. Would you want to go to the tropics or would you want to go somewhere up in the north where it's freezing cold at? You want to go to the Poconos, or you want to go to the Poconos, or you want to go in the mountains where it's the temperatures where you want to be an Eskimo, or you want to go where it's sunny at 95-degree temperatures every day, beautiful white sandy beaches, clear blue water, clear crystal clear water that looks blue. You want to go there, or would like to go up in the mountains where it's cold at? Which one you want to do? It's nowhere. 10 out of 10 black people will choose to be in the tropics. 10 out of 10. The only ones that will literally say, you know what? Let's go up in the mountains where it's cold. The mixed breed ones, the genetic splice ones. That's the ones that will want to do that. So who would trade that life in? Who would trade the blueberries, the raspberries, the cucumbers, the apples, the grapes, the watermelon? Who would want to the oranges, the tangerines? Have you ever got a mango right off the tree? I just got finished in Africa getting mangoes directly off the tree. Directly off the tree. Literally walked out. You know, avocados. I went to the tree and grabbed the avocado right off the goddamn tree. Are you out your goddamn mind? Why the French toast would I trade that in to go up there? You out your, who do y'all think y'all playing with, man? What the hell is wrong with y'all? Come on, man. So let me get back to this video. Let me get back to these scientists and professors. Let me get back to them. Screen share, window, boom. Abundance.
Abundance, supreme respect is iTunes just so Rod.
Yo, what's up, bro? I want to finish playing this video for the people, and then I'm gonna start taking calls in.
All right.
No doubt, my brother. Abundance to you.
Want to see you too.
Respect. So let me get back to playing this video. Come on.
Just no reason at all for pale skin.
You would want to absorb more light, and I mean, why do we
for pale skin at all?
Yeah, because I think if
Dark skin is always an advantage in every
right,
circumstance.
because most people would just automatically assume, well, they went to live in the north where there's less sun,
Yes.
so therefore their skin changed colour. But that's not
No.
the case.
According
is
to Professor Steve Jones, an eminent professor of biology, that is absolute nonsense.
it? Right.
There's
Okay.
just no reason at all for pale skin.
you would
Right.
want to absorb more
Yeah.
light, and I mean, why do we lose hair if we came to a colder climate, etc.
Yeah.
So obviously, something's wrong with that idea.
Right. All right. And Nigel contends that the white races, the northern European races, have probably had the most interference from this outside entity called the grey alien.
Yeah, and he doesn't say that. It's very important to say he doesn't say that from the point of view of a kind of reverse racism.
Right.
It's just he's letting us know that, right, that's there. You may need to do something about it,
Right.
and maybe suggesting ways that we could do something about it. And if you
Yeah.
look at the record of the European nations throughout history, in terms of colonialism, imperialism, and what the havoc they've wreaked
Yeah,
on
it
the
makes
world,
that point
it makes the point,
that
really.
it's the blue-eyed white races that have got
Yeah.
their finger on the nuclear. Well, I mean, what about China?
So listen, once again, he stated the scientists that they try to deem him as racist or hatred. He said this is not coming from a racist or a hatred point of view. This has come from our scientific findings in our genome code. And if you go and look at a chimpanzee and you look at the behavior and characteristics of a chimpanzee, they're pansexual, they're cannibalistic, and they are violent species. And if you look at the species that share 96 to 98% of that DNA with that species, you can see the same characteristics playing out right before your very eyes. That's not racism. It's not hatred. See, even the pink-skinned race hate their own scientists and geneticists and biologists that come out and speaks about this. This is why their life be in danger. See, this is why they really don't want to talk about it, because they already know that their species is very violent. and they don't like to deal with reality. They know this already. So by them saying this, he just saying, wait a minute. The government that's controlling scientists are releasing information and withholding information. When I do an autopsy, when I study the bones, tissue samples, and blood, this is what I am finding. And I'm trying to figure out why aren't they finding the same thing, or they are finding it, why they are not speaking about it. Why is that? And that's all that they're saying. So, and when they say this here causes their own species. Again, the psychological aspect of this, people, is way more dangerous. This causes their people to deal with reality in a way that they don't want to deal with it. The clock, the calendar, the work environment, that's normal to them because that helps them, give them an existence on the planet. It helps them be relevant because they're an irrelevant species. Have you ever noticed, right? Pink-skinned people are more concerned about what so-called black people are doing versus what we are concerned about what they're doing. I'm not concerned about what y'all doing. We don't give a fuck. I don't care what you do, but you're concerned about everything that we do, the way we dance, the music we listen to, the shit that you're concerned, how we raise our children, how we speak to our children, how we drive in a car. Y'all pay attention to everything that we do, and you try to emulate some of the things that we do because monkey see, monkey do. Let me finish playing this.
Because he mentions the Chinese as well, doesn't he? He says that they've had significant intervention. Am I right there?
See, he couldn't just say
that. It's very important.
He couldn't just say that pink skin race had their hand on the nuclear button. He said, well, what about the Chinese? Are we the most dangerous species? No, y'all not the most dangerous. The Chinese all of y'all are the same. It's just that you all have no, how can I say this? You will literally kill your own kind to get a message across. That's the difference. Will the Chinese do it? Yeah, they do it to a certain extent. But you will literally kill your own kind. You don't see the Asian people husband snapping out and killing everybody in the family like you see here in America. You don't see that in Europe. You don't see that. You don't see the Asian father waking up one day and say, you know what? All you motherfuckers got to die, even the dog. You don't see that. You don't see mass shootings in Asian schools. You don't see none of this shit. I'm not saying that they don't have their own psychological issues. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying pink-skinned people or the so-called white race is completely different. They are completely disconnected from reality. Completely disconnected from reality. And it's going to take something drastic to set these people in a right direction. And here's the drastic thing that's taking place. The sun went from yellow to golden. It is now white. Let me make this very clear. The sun went from yellow to golden. Am I crazy? Because there is a fucking white sun in the sky now. I don't know if anybody else noticed it or took pictures of it, but the sun is pure white at this fucking particular time and moment. And during the yellow and golden age of the sun, you had an opportunity to change your ways, and you didn't. You continue to act out the unjust criminal acts, not only to my people, but all natural life on the planet. And now that the sun is white and the ozone layer is being removed at a much rapid pace, and they didn't think it was gonna, they honestly thought they had more time. I want y'all to know this. And it's being removed at a rapid pace, which is allowing more ultraviolet light into the planet, which is heightening your awareness, heightening people's intuition. Your intelligence is shooting through the roof. And this is making it uncomfortable for other pink-skinned people because the Schumann resonance is something that monitors the Earth. Earth is vibrating much faster, and you're vibrating much faster, which is causing you sleep paralysis when you're not sleeping correctly. Your body, you're waking up with aches, your headaches. When you go out in the sun for a certain amount of time, you feel extra drained. You want to sleep. You're very tired, as opposed to you actually gaining energy and getting stronger. You're actually breaking down. So a lot of you want to say, Kala wants you to die. He wants you to eat this, that, and the third. You know, the sun is going to kill you. No, the sun is going to break you down to a certain extent. And you people are going to be living amongst each other with limited resources, just like we had limited resources. You're going to have limited resources, and you're going to be forced to live together so that y'all can grow together. Now, is that going to happen with you all? No, it's not. No, it's not. Because y'all not literally genetically connected to each other. So, and y'all really despise and hate one another. It's just that you're able to take your anger and your hate out on us at this particular time and moment, which is fine, but you won't be able to do that in the future. So you're going to take it out on each other. The same thing that happened before when you in the Caucasus Mountains, all the way out until you spawn out the Caucasus Mountains, all the way through history, you have been violent and dangerous to one another. And let me explain something to you. The woman of your species that have protected you and lived off of this blood money, this blood system, she forgot how you truly was. That's why she's going to have one of the greatest reminders living just with you. And you no longer can point the finger at us. Let me finish playing this video. I'm not playing.
To say he doesn't say that from the point of view of a kind of reverse racism.
Right.
It's just he's letting us know that, right, that's there. You may need to do something about it,
right,
and maybe suggesting ways that we could do something about it. And if you look at the record of the European nations throughout history, in terms of colonialism, imperialism, and what the havoc they've wreaked on the world, makes the point
that
really.
It's the blue-eyed white racists that have got their finger on the nuclear. Well, I mean, what about China? Because he mentions the Chinese as well, doesn't he? He says that they've had significant intervention. Am I right there?
That's right. Yes, there's been interception all across the board. They found ways of doing it, but the most efficient way to do it is on cell nucleuses that aren't protected by the melanin shield.
Okay. Right.
That's just the most efficient, easiest way to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to load that video up separately, my people. So let's go over here. Let's go over here. This is not racism. This is scientific facts. You see this right here? Humans born with a tail. This is scientific facts. This is not racism. This is scientific facts. Humans born with a tail. This is not racism. It's not racism to speak about our genetic differences. You know what I mean? This is why honeybees know what honeybees are and flies know what they are. So they're not racist towards each other. They live according to their genetic makeup. That's all. Humans, family, walking on all fours. This is historic facts, my people. This is historic facts. See? It's not racism. They forgot about this. See, this is what they were the first ones in the zoos. See, they don't want to. Why would they use these images, people? You see these images from back in the day? Why would they put these images up here? People that's on Instagram, you're missing out on some images now. Why would they use this? Huh? Oh. Your own people talk about you. Hold on.
Let's talk about your obsession with confusing your genetics with actual humans. Settler America loves associating Black Americans with being monkeys, which is crazy because it's not an insult for Black people, because they're aware that they're the only people on this land without any animal DNA. So truly it's a confession and a projection when it's used, because deep down everyone is aware that when you stare at Black Americans, you see adaptability that you wish that you had. You see skin that absorbs the sun, bones built to last, and a culture that dances and flirts with time. instead of fearing it. Meanwhile, we got Chad with fragile skin, lactose tolerance, a sun allergy with an immune system that's weaker than a newborn, calling black people monkeys? Couldn't possibly miss the fact, Chad, that you have a millimeter Peter, no ass, a tail, razor thin lips, bad hygiene, fur confused as hair growing out of every hole on your body, with the side of animalistic behaviors. Sunny, save it. Anthropology has never been able to prove that black people came from monkeys. Anthropology has proved, however, that colonizers have been obsessed with pretending that they aren't the actual evolutions of primates. If black Americans are monkeys, then why is everyone chopping their bodies like bell peppers to look like them? You wouldn't knowingly try to surgically imitate a monkey now, would you? Yeah, I don't think so. Continuing to disrespect the original people is only going to make things worse for you. So next time you think about calling a black person a monkey, flip the mirror. Let's look at the group who has a history of lice, and then let's look at the group that almost never gets them unless they are transferred from a certain type of people. Look at who's scratching their heads in courtrooms, and who's raiding rainforests to steal substances and then call it pharma. Who burns their skin to cancerous levels just to escape their biology? That's not dominance or supremacy. That's desperation and inferiority.
He said it. I didn't say that. He said it. I didn't say that. Stop sharing this, man. I didn't say that. He said it. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can continue to call. Hold on. I got some people. Yo, Instagram. Yo. The shadow. I got it. Listen, let me get off this live, my people. I'm still on YouTube, so I'm gonna be on YouTube for a little bit. If y'all want to come on over to YouTube, because it's some stuff that I want to share, and I can't share it while I'm on the YouTube live. I mean, while I'm on Instagram. So let me share this here because I want to read some of this stuff here that I have, and I want to look at the video that my brother John has sent me because I'm quite sure it's important. Believe me, when I tell you, I value you all. I appreciate you all. Abundance and gratitude. Hope y'all come over to the YouTube channel. All right, so. Let me share this. Let me share this, people. Let me share this now. All right, so Sean sent me your video. All right, what up? Okay, what up?
So I want to play a game to see if you can stop a man who's eventually going to annihilate his entire family. This is Chris.
Hold on, my people. Wow. Let me get on over here. Pause for 1 second, people. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this shit up here. I got some things I need to pull up over here. Let me pull up some shit here. Messaging. Let's go over here. We're going to share some videos today. We're going to share some videos today. All right, cool. Bam. You can go on Amazon and you can get these anatomy posters. You can go on Amazon and get these. You're gonna go on Amazon and get them. They're very educational, and like I said, I'm still learning, people. I'm a baby in this, but I'm still learning. And the things that I have come across and what I have found out is very, very devastating. You know what I mean? It's an eye opener. So let me share this screen, people, because I want to go on here and play a couple videos. I don't know why this keep doing this, but let me share a couple videos. Share screen. Bam. Let's play this one.
He had God's permission to kill people. I escaped with my 5 kids, but we would have absolutely been victims of a murder-suicide had I not been able to. So I want to play a game to see if you can stop the man who's eventually going to annihilate his entire family. This is Chris. Chris works in sales and makes a 6-figure salary. He has a background in business development leadership. Super successful, nice guy, loves his friends and family. This is Mike. Mike served as a full-time missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Brazil. He now works in the insurance and financial service industry and is a very polite, kind man. And this is John. John works in event operations where he helps staff major events like concerts. He is a super goofy, lovable guy. Everybody that knows him has said that he's awesome. which one of these guys has the capacity to kill his kids, his wife, and then himself? All of them. Every single one. Did you spot it? Did they look crazy? Could you tell they were insane? Did they look mean? Chris killed his beautiful wife, Mandy, and her 6 children. He shot each and every one of them and then tried to light the house on fire and shot himself. And this happened about a week ago. Mike shot his wife, Tasha, and her 5 kids. 3 years prior to this disgusting man brutally killing his entire family, there was a police report made where their daughter reported that he strangulated her. There was not enough evidence, and it was dropped. She filed for divorce 2 weeks before he killed everybody. John went through the house and hunted his entire family, shot his wife and 3 of his kids, but not before leaving his 10-year-old alive to wake up in the morning and find all the bodies. His body as well. Violent men appear humble in the public eye. You would never know. It is the mask that they wear. That is the control that they have when they go out in public. But when they come home, just like their coat, they hang it up at the front door. And who the people see inside their house is completely different from who you will ever see. You would never know. All of these guys and my husband.
Wow. Let me say this to you, my people, and I'm not trying to be smart here. I'm being honest with you. And I mean, y'all know, I know anybody that know me know I speak directly from the soul. And I'm gonna be real with you. That was some sad shit that I just watched because she's telling the truth. She's telling the truth. It's really sad the way that these people come across to out in public that they are sane. And I told you this already. They are the best actors and actresses. When they're out in public, they are so sane or appear to be sane. But then you have no idea what is going through their kid on a day-by-day basis because of what's taking place with them anatomically. And what's going on with them. They are on a planet. First of all, it's not even about what the fact that they're on a planet that's not conducive to their genetic makeup. The fact that they are genetically spliced with so many different species. They are in a state of constant confusion and a constant state of necrophilia that they have no problem killing and wanting to see. See, the reason why they killed themselves afterwards is because they were looking after they actually did all the killing. They was like, damn, I can't believe I did that. How am I going to live? And how am I going to live with this? You know what? Fuck it. I might well kill myself because I don't even think in the act, I don't even think in the act of them doing some of the shit that they're doing, I don't even think they realize that they're doing it. And I'm not making excuses for them. So I want y'all to know if anybody think that I'm making an excuse for these people, you're fucking crazy. I'm not making an excuse for these people at all. I'm just saying to you, giving the scientific findings that I have seen regarding neurology and how the brain communicates with other parts of the brain, these people are going and fucking insane. And the only reason why they haven't snapped out even further or even more than what they have already, than where they at, is due to the fact that they have what you would call jobs, occupation. They got things that distract them. Pink-skinned people or white, whatever you want to call them, are not slaughtering their families because of financial issues. They're not killing their families because the world is so hard for them to exist. These people have it better than any motherfucking time in history. Over the last 50 years, they have had it better than any point in time in history. Any point in time in history. And they still have no problem killing at mass numbers. See, when you look at the wars that has been generated over the years, right? That's just another outlet for them to exercise their animal instincts. Yeah, that's just another outlet for them. I want to be a police officer. I want to join the military. I want to be this. That's just other outlets for them to exercise abuse. And remind you, chimpanzees have to be in control. I'm not making this up. Look it up for yourself. They have to be in control. Sometimes they would just perform violent acts on other chimpanzees to make sure that their superiority is still intact, to reassure their position in the pack. They would just wake up one day and be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me beat you the fuck up. Let me beat you the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I just for no reason, just so they can reassure that their position of superiority is where it's at inside the pack. It's no different from this species. To harass you the way that they harass people. Us at that. I got some stuff. I got some more shit that I want to show y'all people. I'm not done. I'm not done. I got some more shit I want to show you. Hold on. Let me make sure. Oh. I got some more shit I need to show y'all. Now, I want you to know that really hurt me, man. That video bothered me. See, I told the white woman, I understand the pink skinned woman. And I use white and Asian and Arabs. I use that for educational purpose only. But they're pink skinned people. You know what I'm saying? So let me just say this to you, right? I told the white woman that she is going to have a stern reminder of who she's been protecting this entire time. She's going to have a stern reminder. This man is not going to hesitate at all when he has limited resources and limited food. When he no longer can get the food at the corner store, when he no longer can get his beer, he can get his cigarettes, he can get his alcohol, and he no longer can take out his fake ass anger or superiority or fake superiority on black people, and it's just y'all amongst each other and y'all got limited resources, you're going to see how this species really treats you. See, this is why they want me to say that the sun is going to kill them all. No, you're elderly that can't deal with the sun and the radiations, gone. I got you. Your little babies that your immune system is very weak, gone. I got you. But that in the middle, that age bracket in the middle, let me put it right here. That age bracket in the middle, oh, y'all all going to be grouped together. And y'all going to have to live and survive with limited resources. And how you think that's going to pan out? You remember what happened the last time the Dark Ages came along in your area? This is going to last way longer because it's going to be a world thing. Not just a section of the world. It's going to be a world thing. Hold on for 1 second. Let me take this call. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Kala. State your name, city, and state where you calling from. Hello?
Hello?
Abundance. How are you? What's on your mind?
Hi, abundance to you. I had a question about genetic slicing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know what happened. I hope that you can call back. I don't know why the phone disconnected. I don't know what happened, but let me share this. Let me share this video. Like, I really empathize for the women and children in your race. I really empathize for them because it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. Here you go right here. Look at this.
How can you watch? You have this pull away shirt. Leave me alone. I don't want to go to jail. I'm just trying to defend myself. Ethan, can you please pull up your shirt without a witness?
We're in family court in Las Vegas, Nevada. 26-year-old Monica Contreras is here for a 5-minute hearing just to dissolve a restraining order filed by her estranged husband. Her 2-year-old daughter waits just off camera. Before Contreras can even leave, Marshal Ron Fox pulls her into another room for a drug search. When she returns, she tells a courtroom marshal she wasn't comfortable with how that search was conducted. Fox doesn't like what he hears and orders her handcuffed on the spot. Contreras begs to know the charge. The answer, allegedly making false claims against an officer, something that, as pointed out on camera, isn't even a crime in Clark County. Hearing Master Patricia Donninger turns her back on the situation.
So, in other words, a male officer. Now, this is the first time I'm watching this video. a male officer searched her. And the way he searched her, she felt it was inappropriate because his little nasty, fat, pink-skinned, mutant motherfucker probably groped all over her and did some nasty shit while he was doing it. And in the process of that happening, all she said was she didn't like the way that the officer conducted his search of her. And this is the result of this
situation and calls Child Haven, the county's child protective services, to have Contreras' daughter removed. Within minutes, a woman at a routine hearing is arrested and her toddler is being taken from her. A 5-minute hearing turned into a $200,000 lesson in accountability, but only because the cameras were rolling. Do you think this ever comes to light without that footage? Let us know.
Let's watch that again, people. Let's watch this again. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, there will be not an ounce of empathy shown to none of you, motherfuckers. I swear it won't be. I promise you it won't. And look, I told you, I want the white woman, the pink-skinned woman, I want her to really understand what's coming down the pipe when the resources are limited and you can no longer come underneath the sun with so-called black people. Here you go. And look, the white woman sat back as a judge, a magistration in the court, in this room, and watched that go down and turned her back. Literally turned, didn't even give a French toast. Are you kidding me? Y'all have no idea.
How can you watch? You have me to pull away shirt. Leave me alone. I don't want to go to jail. I'm just trying to defend myself. Can you please pull up your shirt without a witness?
We're in family court in Las Vegas, Nevada. 26-year-old Monica Contreras is here for a 5-minute hearing just to dissolve a restraining order filed by her estranged husband. Her 2-year-old daughter waits just off camera. Before Contreras can even leave, Marshal Ron Fox pulls her into another room for a drug search. When she returns, she tells a courtroom marshal she wasn't comfortable with how that search was conducted. Fox doesn't like what he hears and orders her handcuffed on the spot. Contreras begs to know the charge. The answer, allegedly making false claims against an officer, something that, as pointed out on camera, isn't even a crime in Clark County. Hearing Master Patricia Donninger turns her back on the situation and calls Child Haven, the county's child protective services, to have Contreras' daughter removed.
All right, I can't. I really can't get no more. I really can't watch, because you know what just came to my mind? Child trafficking. That's literally what she probably never see her baby again. She probably never see her child again. And people have the nerve to ask me, why in the fuck do I make videos about the genetic differences of my species and these species of people? You got a nerve to come on my platform and ask me why I make videos discussing scientific facts, because your genealogy is connected to your psychological state of mind. What you share your genetics with is going to display in your physical characteristics. And you have the nerve to ask me, are you fucking out your mind? Have you lost it? I'm not done though. I had to get off of that for 1 second. I couldn't even watch that. It was hard for me to watch that over. I couldn't watch that again. And to look at her daughter being taken away. Hold on.
He was raping his dogs. This is Brendan Haynes of Florida. He had 2 dogs, which have now been taken out of his custody. Apparently, he was doing horrific sexual acts with at least one of these dogs on video. He had taken video and he even sent it to one of his friends. Luckily, this friend did not agree with those acts and reported it to authorities. Law enforcement gathered his address, went to his house, and realized that his house did indeed match the background of the video showing him committing these sexual.
In UK, the police already stopped arresting, them for molesting children because they say if they continue to arrest them, there won't be no more white men left in Europe. I don't understand why people are getting mad about this. It's in the DNA, and the sun is activating the DNA. So most of them going to start acting, toward children and animals. That's just the way it is. Okay? And you need to understand, it's in their DNA. It's just activating. The sun is activating them. That's why you are seeing more and more and more and more. Yes, you might say, oh, no, it's not all of them. Yes, not yet. But the more the sun charging, the more the frequencies coming in, the more you're going to start seeing all kinds of behaviors because most of them is in the DNA. And the DNA is charging and bringing up what actually is in their blood, their DNA, which is a lot of animals, it's in their DNA. So they are attached to that. So you shouldn't get, I know it sounds bad, but you can't get mad at the people because they can't help it. They can't help it. It's in their DNA. So let's continue to watch it.
Acts with the dogs. Now, he had 2 dogs, like I said. They were both taken from his custody, and he was booked in jail on $2,500. As we all know, this kind of abuse, as well as other sexual abuse, usually ends like this with just a slap on the wrist. He's probably already out. He's probably already looking for another dog. He'll probably be a repeat offender until things escalate. He was raping.
Yeah, you're gonna see more.
Yeah, you ain't gonna take you're not gonna take the dog from him. Hold on. I'm not done.
Florida just recorded herself pouring hot wax on her own children and also setting a fire in her apartment or house. Remember Florida, by the way. Come right back to Florida, and I'll prove to you guys in just 1 second that obviously there is some demonic possession going on, and we can see it clearly because the demons love covering the face of their victim. We see it all the time. Now, the video is blurred and there's nothing explicit in this video. Now, she was also arrested and charged with child abuse as well as arson. But before we get to the weird anomaly in Florida, right around the same time, it's ridiculous, you can see that she has a mask on while doing all this insane stuff. Think about the Rothschild balls, where they all have masks on. Also, all the celebrities, when they're on stage and they're going into their Rain Man, their other forms being controlled by someone, they always put their shades on. They try to cover the face of the person they're possessing. All right, remember, this happened in Florida, right? Well, completely unrelated, not relevant, 1000% different from what we're just talking about. Check out this crazy anomaly that was seen on our radar, this massive pulse of frequency. Of course, it's not related whatsoever, but I showed you guys in the past the Schumann frequency, which picks up bilateral other frequencies, also can show when these major events are happening, when people just go out of their mind a little bit. Almost the enabling of losing self-control while the other thing that's available takes control, aka the demon.
Wow. Come on, I'm not done. Let me play some more of this shit here. Let me play some more. This is
that gives you this color. I am naturally this white. You need to use our ultra dark tan. It is watermelon scented, and this is
Happy Thursday with 100 Twins, Jackie.
Victoria.
Are you looking to stop having orange hands when you fake tan, but just natural ones? Well, this is.
I've talked about my observations multiple times.
Let me do this one more game.
That gives you this color. I am naturally this white. You need to use our ultra dark tan. It is watermelon scented, and this is
Happy Thursday with 100 Twins, Jackie.
Victoria.
Are you looking to stop having orange hands when you fake tan, but just natural ones? Well, this is.
So I saw a video of people doing this, and I thought it was fake. This shit is 100% real. Matter of fact, Look at this shit. Or on Google, type in, I am alone with a white person. Look at what it says. It says, if you are feeling unsafe, uncomfortable, or threatened right now, please trust your instincts and take steps to protect yourself. You can read the rest right there. It's the same thing.
Whoa, say that again.
So I saw a video of people doing this and I thought it was fake. This shit is 100% real. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Or on Google, type in, I am alone with a white person. Look at what it says. It says, if you are feeling unsafe, uncomfortable, or threatened right now, please trust your instincts and take steps to protect yourself. You can read the rest right there. It's the same thing. I am alone with a black person. And look at what it says. Being alone with another person is a normal, everyday situation. Treat them with the same basic respect, courtesy, and consideration you would offer anyone else. And you can read the rest. All right, so I said, let me try something different. Look at this shit. So then I put in, I am alone with a Christian. And look what it says. If you are feeling lonely, remember that it is a common human emotion. Many people experience quiet seasons. And many faithful believers look to quiet prayer or scripture to find comfort and peace when they are by themselves. If you are in danger or feel unsafe right now, please call your local emergency number immediately. And then I put in, I am alone with the atheist. Look what it says right here. Being alone with an atheist is just being alone with another person. An atheist is someone who does not believe in God. They eat, they talk, and they think like anyone else. So y'all seen those answers. What y'all think? This is coming from Google AI. And jump in the comments and let me know what you think, man.
Oh man, you can't make this shit up, man. I got some shit over here that I need to pull up real fast, my people. Hold on. I got some shit over here I need to pull up. Let me see. We'll select boom. Go here. Okay, go share. Listen, why don't you call in and tell me how you feel? If you think it's only pale faces, then you're being delusional. But okay. Call in, buddy. Call in, buddy. Call in. Call in, buddy. Call in. Let me explain. Let me show you why. Let me show you how I know that is majority you all. I'm not gonna say that there is not a broken clock in a black community. I'm not even gonna say that. Is there a broken clock in a black community? Absolutely, there is a broken clock in a black community. However, let me see something here. Yeah, I got some more shit I want to show y'all. I'm not done. I told you I'm gonna get on YouTube. I thought I was gonna get more. I thought the pink skin race was really gonna call in tonight and try to debunk me on the scientific findings, man. All that shit that y'all be talking and writing all these long ass soliloquies on y'all write out long ass paragraphs on Instagram. Y'all be writing long ass paragraphs on Instagram. Oh, Kalai, you're racist. Oh, Kalai, you're the scientific findings that you're having, they're wrong. Okay, cool. I'm ready to pull up something right now. I'm ready to pull up some shit right now again. Here we go right here. Look at the sizes of the brain right here. Look at the sizes of these brains. Look at this right here. This is what you would call archaic twin. These are really called monster babies. This right here is when there is a mutation. There is a mutation within the cells. These are babies, twins born inside the stomach of the mother. But there is a mutation when it came down to the development of the fetus, whereas though it's called gene trap sequence, to the point where as though the baby be coming out like this, completely deformed. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Kalai. State your name, city, and state where you calling from.
My name is Antoinette Montero, and my state is Las Vegas.
Abundance. My apologies. Go ahead.
Abundance and gratitude to you too.
Yes.
A lot of the stuff that's happening in Las Vegas is true. There is a 3-tier system. I live next to a police officer, and he told me about it. That anything, tier 1 would be if you're raping an infant, it's tier 1. Tier 2 is from ages 5 to 10, and anything up is tier 3. So with that being said, the Boulder Dam has been shut down due to, I know you featured that in your video, and it has been shut down. They're saying it's repair. But let me share something with you that a lot of people don't know. They're building an AI center because it was refused in Boulder City. Las Vegas refused it. Nevada refused it. So they're building one right next to the gun range in Henderson. And I'm a mile away from it.
Wow.
So, and you know that they use water to cool down the systems. So another thing that they're doing too is that, I don't know if you've been seeing this, Forbes had an article where these AI companies are buying these rare manuscripts and books, and they're actually chopping them down and feeding them to the AI data center so they can control the information. So if there's any books that you need to get, I would suggest you get them now, because you won't have these ancient manuscripts anymore.
I agree with you. I agree with that part. They're going to get rid of the books. They're going to get rid of and if you don't have the information now, please, I would suggest, just like you stated, get as many books as y'all possibly can, because especially with knowledge, books that are filled with knowledge, because they've already shut down a lot of this stuff that's happening, that's being revealed.
Right. And I live, a lot of, I don't know if you study ley lines and all that, because it's a guidance system that the planet uses and angelic forces uses. But anyways, there's one in Boulder City, and the tree, it was so massive that the tree actually bowed. It was like going around it. And so with the city of Boulder City, I guess they can trace you and see where you are. They actually cut down the trees and they changed the pictures, so nobody would know where to go to hit this power source. And a lot of the solar grids, when they're building a solar grid or building solar power, they're building it on a ley line because it's a natural power source. And this is stuff that's happening right now. And if you're not aware in the spiritual, you're not going to be aware in the natural.
Absolutely.
And so another thing that you were talking about is the 1P chromosome deletion.
Yep.
And I would like to know where to read that at. Is it in a medical journal or ADA? Because I like, my fiance shared things with him. I was telling him about on your video how you have the DNA of Caucasian people, 70% is shared with a slug. He goes, come on. So I was just like, I'm going to have to show him.
Right.
And I'll share something with you because I do medical delivery. I'm a courier in Greater Las Vegas. So I did a delivery. I'll never forget this man. His name was Vandermeer. I came to his door and he had little tiny horns on his head. I kid you not. People were saying it was hair. I know hair when I see it. He had little horns and his foot was changing. I don't know what he had, but I know he wasn't human.
Right.
And so I gave the medicine real quick and I heard this name, I think a month ago, and it was some young man. His name was Vandermeer, and he ended up killing one of his family members. I said, there it is. And I'm like, so what you portrayed in the video about how their emergent behavior is coming out, because I'm seeing it driving in Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
I know that.
No, I said absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. And the thing of it is like I'm noticing they're dazed when they're walking around. Okay, like right now it's 100 degrees here in Las Vegas at night. And just because you're walking outside doesn't mean there isn't UV radiation.
That's right. That's right.
I don't, and my fiance and I talk about, he goes, do they think because they're going outside at night that radiation isn't hitting them? Apparently so. I don't know why they think it doesn't make it. Because during the day is stronger because the rays are hitting.
Uh-huh.
And I deliver medication, so these folk, when I notice when I'm giving them, they put their little hand out and snatch the bag real quick. They're afraid to go in this. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm just saying they don't even come out. They literally open the door. It could be because of fear. I don't know, but all the time I see them putting their hand out and they snatch it, and then they walk with it like they're afraid to even be in the sunlight.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I'm noticing, so every time I'm driving to Las Vegas, I'm delivering at night too. They'll be outside with their dogs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed during the day they're walking around with umbrellas. They're hiding in the shade.
Yes.
And here's another. I want to ask you about the Melotan, because this stuff where the synthetic melanin, allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
that they're drinking, is that really going to protect them?
No.
From the,
Not at all. Nothing. They will not have any type of protection. It's like putting a Band-Aid or temporarily putting a like you got a ship full of holes, and all you're doing is putting Band-Aids trying to cover up the holes of the ship from the water leaking in, but you're not going to stop it. You can't stop it.
Now, there was a woman, her name is Martina Biggs. She did this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's darker than you or I.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, she said, oh, she's German. And she says, I've changed my race. And somebody said, well, until you have a black baby, then we're going to see. Because the thing of it is, even when they're taking the Melotrans, they can revert back. So the thing of it is like when you showed the video about, I told my fiance about this, that scientist was kind of stumbling all over his words, that, basically they can't cut into our melanin like they want to.
Facts.
Because of the molecule being so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering how Martina Big got so dark unless it's actual melanin.
No.
Or no, okay.
You have what you call EU melanin. You can look that up as well. And if Barack Obama, Tiger Woods, and several other Dr. Shiva, these people have brown pigmentation of their skin. And this is why Barack Obama was able to fool everybody to making him believe that, or America was, or the entity, I don't even want to say that America, the entity was able to fool everybody with Barack Obama being black because of the pigmentation of his skin. But however, underneath that skin, Barack Obama still has animal DNA. He gets his genetic makeup from his mother. His mother is pure white, or what you would consider white, a pink skin race. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have questions about mine because, like, my blood type is O, and this is something I talked about with my fiance. I said, you need to know your blood type because O is an ancient blood type.
Yes. And
my blood type goes 338,000 years. So I know I'm from an ancient bloodline.
Right. But
I don't know if it's O. Go ahead.
No, I apologize. Your blood types were also genetically, they were also created by what you would call an artificial race for them to mix their blood with us. Now, I will tell you that your blood is old and ancient, absolutely, because it was only one blood type on the planet, and that was our blood type. So when they started raping us and started injecting us with their toxins, this is why we were able to now have antigens attached to our cells that created what we have now, blood types. But other than that, though, no, it was one original blood type amongst the so-called original species on this planet. So for example, how some of our brothers and sisters in America say that we shouldn't be mingling and having conversations or dealing with people from Africa, which is completely false, because it's not a honeybee in America that can't go to Africa and join a colony and honeybees in Africa. It's not a honeybee in Africa that can't go to Jamaica and join a colony of honeybees in there. And the same thing go with elephants. We're the ones that are being divided. We're the ones that's carrying out the division based off lack of knowledge and wisdom of anatomy, because we all are one that comes from the stars, no matter what landmass that we're on.
Now, I want to talk about myself because, like me, I have hazel eyes. Okay. They turn green and all that. Mm-hmm. But when I go in the sun, I'll share experience when I was 12. I was actually smelling milk. Like, I remember one day I was smelling myself. I said, oh my God, I smell like I drank milk. But that's because we produce vitamin D. And I guess that, you know, as a woman, you lactate, but, you know, I was smelling it. I notice when I get in the sun, I produce oil. So
Right.
I glow.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead. Well, that's true. We don't need those type of. When I was in Africa the whole time, I didn't put not one drop of oil on my body, not one type of oil. I didn't use any. No apology. I didn't use no lotion. I didn't use no oil. I just washed up and walked out underneath the sun.
And here's my thing: when they get tan, they seem to think, we have melanin too. Yeah, you guys get tan, but you don't. Your skin doesn't have any glow or oil, so that's why they get dry.
Right? They don't get tan. Their skin doesn't get tan. That's inflammation. Those are damaged cells within their body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't get a tan. They don't get any type of tan. When that tan that they assume that they have, that's just busted blood cells, damaged cells that are in their body. That's it.
I need to find where you can get that at, because they swear up and down, well, I'm as tan as you, and I'm like, no.
Nah.
Nah. And the thing of it is, the pink skinned woman, and I had a brother, I was talking to him about you. I said, you need to watch Kalima. He's on YouTube. And he was telling me, he said, this is before I had knowledge. It was a Lyft ride, and I was doing Lyft. Mm-hmm. And he said that he was with this white girl. He was 18, she was 19. He was 19 at the time, she was 18. And he said that he impregnated her, and she had to have a shot.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And he told me this while we were doing it, and he goes, that's when I realized that they were a different species, because I've been doing studying. Mm-hmm. And I said, what did you read? And he said she couldn't even hold my child.
Nope.
After the 4, and she said that she miscarried and the baby was in the toilet.
Yeah. Because the body recognized that it's a foreign species. It's not natural. Absolutely. And a lot of our people are not admitting this when it comes to their interracial relationships. They're not admitting what's really taking place.
And that's what I said to my fiance, because like he has a son by a white woman, and he said, well, she didn't have to take a shot. I said, you don't know. She probably didn't admit it.
Absolutely.
They're not going to tell you.
No, not going to tell you.
They're not going to tell you. Mm-hmm. And they try to pass themselves up as, like you. Absolutely. And they're really not. I work with a bunch of them. So I'm very careful because I just noticed their person is different. I don't know how to. It's like what Miles Davis, because I'm a musician, and when he did an interview in 1989, because the way they hear music is different. He said it's not. He said they just are behind the beat. It's different.
Yep.
And I know exactly what he meant, because the way they perceive frequency is different. The way they perceive sound is different. Even their taste buds.
Come on.
The whole thing, the whole gambit.
Absolutely.
And once I got educated and learned who they really are, and it's so funny because like when I was growing up, they didn't want hide or head of me. Now they're like, hey, sister. I'm like, no, go over there. Go to your own. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, see, when you start to learn the difference in our anatomy, and you start to look at them for who and what they are, it's not being racist, it's not being hatred.
No.
It gives you a better understanding on why they conduct and act the way that they act. It's all, and that lets you know how close you can play with them or deal with them or not. That's what it is. But when you're just going in there blinded, saying that we're all the same and we're happy, ha ha ha, and then somebody get killed, or somebody get lynched, or somebody get ran over, or somebody get beat up in courtroom or shot by, you'd be like, well, why did you do that? And that's not fair. You keep asking the same question. You keep asking the same question from a species themselves. They don't even know why they're doing it. They're genetically to cause havoc no matter where they go.
It's like some type of bloodlust. They have this, I don't know, I even see it at work. They have an aggression.
Yes. Yes. Towards
it's a natural aggression.
Yes. Towards pain, towards watching blood, towards seeing it. Absolutely. You better believe it. Necrophilia.
I watch them. I mean, I work with a bunch of them, and I notice when I get into the room, they'll talk with me one-on-one, but when they're together, it's like I'm not even in the room, which is fine because I understand, I understand who they are.
Right.
As I'm going to be 61 next month.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing of it is, I've seen a lot. I was born in 1965. I've been through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the 2000s, 2010s, and now.
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't no different from when I was a kid. In fact, they're devolving, if anything.
Thank you. Absolutely. And you can see it. Yes.
I see it. And so I stay away. And I tell my fiance to be very, because I said there was one of the women that I work with, she's an ex-felon.
Mm-hmm.
7 counts on a record. One, she tried to potentially, it was, what do they call that murder? It's not murder. It's second degree or something
manslaughter.
like that.
Manslaughter.
Yeah, manslaughter, exactly. And and 7 animals died because in the state of Nevada, that's considered a felony when animals killed. And see, they'll put an animal as a felony, but if I get killed, it's justice.
Absolutely. Ain't that some shit? Sad.
Yeah, and that's just letting you know their mindset. And I'm going to go biblical and you live with, but God talks about, and I will put a sottish nation, and sottish means stupid. I'll have a stupid nation ruling over you. And that's exactly, and I was saying that to my fiance, I said, this is exactly what's happened. A stupid nation. And you're looking at all the decisions that are happening right now. Only, as you say, a vulnerable monkey, a slug, and this combination with no rhyme or reason or any kind of critical thinking would do these decisions unless you were insane and totally out of your mind.
Absolutely.
How do you have a $40 trillion debt and not know to pay it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so what they're going to do, because that would incite civil war if they don't pay it, so they're going to reset the currency, which is something that I see. I have an MBA in finance, not the school. School doesn't mean anything if you don't apply it.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing of it is that that's what I'm seeing. And we as a people, we have to start having our own.
Yep.
We have to have our own shampoo companies. Because these their institutions are closing down left and right.
Yep. Absolutely.
And we need to prepare. Because it's not going to be around.
No. Absolutely.
I'm telling you what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my food ready. I got my preparations. And I would suggest that if people can find a way, the firmament is up above. You can pull water from the sky because it's all the same. So you can do that. And our ancestors knew how to do that. We also didn't go with their medication.
No, we didn't need it.
We didn't need it. Let me tell you something. You know who's on the medication I delivered to?
Mm-hmm.
95% is them.
Yes.
So I don't mind giving it because it helps with their demise. because it's unnatural.
Yep.
I'm telling you, because I talked to a pharmaceuticals rep and he said, well, a lot of stuff that's made is synthetic and derivatives of the natural stuff. I said, oh.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. They the natural all these medications that they have on the market, the root of it is a plant. They take the plant and they synthesize it and they create a medicine that supposedly works, but it doesn't. It causes even more problems. So yes, I absolutely.
So one of my best friends, because they were going to lead her last rites, and I told her, I said, get your berberine and your coumarin, black turmeric, and put it in your tongue because they said she had crash.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor came in, and they pronounced her like, get your family, it's going to be your last rites, whatever. And the doctor said, I don't know what just happened. He said, your blood is clean. what did you take? And I said, don't you tell him. And she walked right out of there, and he just grilled her. He said, I don't know what you took, but it's natural. That's all I can see. It set him off. You know, like he's like, I can't trace it, because with the synthetic drugs, they can trace it in your system.
Right.
But with the natural, that's why they want to control all of it.
Yep.
And so, you know, he was like, well, what are you taking? She goes, it's just, you know, herbs. He goes, oh, okay. And she's lost weight. Her friend called me up and said, you know, I'm having liver trouble. And I said, you need to get on milk thistle. You need to, you know, stop eating all this processed food. You know, and once you do that, you're going to be fine. And I think she told me that she's almost cured. So if we go back to doing what we used to do, like, we're going to be fine.
Absolutely.
But we need to grow our own stuff. We need to eat the seeds. We need to, you know, replenish. Yeah. And that's stuff we're not doing because we went with the Western system, which is garbage.
Right. We went with an artificial system. And because we went with an artificial system, we having a lot of ailments that with our bodies: hypertension, brain fog, bone degeneration. We as we get older, our bones become more fragile. As we get older, we should get stronger. You know, so therefore, you know, going with the Western ideology, or let's just say artificial, you know, system, because most of their medicine also come from China. So I don't want to leave the Chinese people out, because they all play a role in our demise. They all play a role collectively in keeping so-called Black people intoxicated. So, and then underneath this delusional spell. But I appreciate the call, my sister. I want to get a few more people in here before I get off of here. I really do appreciate the wisdom and knowledge, and I honestly thank you.
Thank you, Kalima, and you have a blessed evening.
You too. Thank you. Are you okay, Kala? I'm more than wonderful. Are you okay? I'm speaking to that sister right there, works in the medical field, and her dropping that information regarding what's going on over in Vegas, how y'all don't even come out in the daytime no more. Y'all come out at night, and y'all under the illusion that just because you come out at night, that the radiation level is not bothering you. Yeah, you don't have the intensity of the sun, but doesn't mean that the atoms, particles, and UVC is not in the atmosphere. I done showed you what is happening on the back half of the planet quite some time. And I haven't showed you in a minute, but I'm going to bring that up as well. So let me share this screen real fast, because this is something that a lot of you, you know, y'all overlook this right here. Y'all overlook this right here. You see this right here? Neanderthal DNA, huh? The genome of modern humans, Homo sapiens, may contain a small amounts of Neanderthal DNA. People from African population typically have little, if any, Neanderthal DNA, and people with a European or Asian background have about 1 to 2%. This is as of June 2026, right here. So let's go down here. Australia. Let me see. This person was trying to get in for quite some time. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Kala. State your name, city, and state where you calling from.
Kala, this is Dinky from Texas. I called you a while back. You probably don't remember me. I was talking to you about the school system. I pulled my first kids out of the school system. I'm really big on the school system. I don't trust it. I had to learn a lot about it. That's what prompted me to pull my kids out of it. I'm sorry if you want me to talk about the conversation at hand, or can I speak to you about the school system? I don't want to interrupt your podcast.
But I didn't. No, it's not. The subject is necessarily, you know, the subject is at hand is about our differences. Listen, give me a second. The subject is at hand. That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you when you called, and I state what's on your mind and your heart and your opinions. So you can go ahead and feel free to speak about the education system if you want to. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, brother. Yes, the last time I called, I was talking about the school system. I just want to let our people that's listening right now know how serious it is for the parents to pull their children out of the school system. I watched a news broadcast where there was this lady. She looked like one of the ones that was related to Obama. She didn't look like us. And she was advocating starting a black militia. They showed her on the news with a gun, a pew-pew, and everything. She was trying to start a militia with black children. And she's a teacher in the school. And I felt some type of way about that. And I got angry about it because I'm thinking in my mind, why are so-called black people still continuing to keep their children in the school system? Who is this woman? And what agenda does she have? And why is she trying to advocate it in the school system? Is it that our people still believe in the school system so much to where they're not willing to draw their kids out? They still believe in it. And I just want to spread the word to let our people know this is the type of stuff that's going on at this day and age, because while these individuals are at their end, including the ones that has the melanin that Obama had, they're all in it together. They don't want us to wake up. They don't want us to know who we are. They don't want us to know the truth. So it's basically, I don't want to quote anything regarding a rapper, Tupac, but it is me against the world, because everybody is trying to keep our bloodline from seeing the truth, and they'll do anything to stop it. I was pissed when I seen this lady doing this, and they put her on the news. They even had her on a TV show, and she was stating the reason why she did it as if it was the right thing to do.
Breaking news. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My apologies.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
I just didn't like it.
Right.
And you can't tell your family members, your friends. I was talking to my sisters. I have 4 sisters. And I was trying to tell them, look, y'all need to get y'all kids out of the school system. And they was worried about CPS. Well, if I don't have my kids in school, CPS, blah, 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 woo-hoo. I told them, don't worry about that. You worry about your kids come first.
Mm-hmm.
Period. We at the time now to where I feel like it's do or die. We don't have no allies. I don't understand why our people don't understand it. In Virginia, I think it's Virginia, I'm not sure. It's North Carolina or Virginia. It's a predominantly black community right now. They've been without power for a whole week.
Yeah.
The only reason why the public is trying to know about it is because there's people making videos about it that's down there.
Yeah.
We need to look out for each other.
Right.
I'm not going to say that it was did on purpose, because either way, it's going to happen either way. What they going through, it's going to happen everywhere.
Yep.
But while it's going on right now where they are, we should be connecting with each other. Period. They shouldn't be asking for people that don't belong here for help. We should be helping each other.
I completely agree with
It's
you.
like I'm to the point to where if you don't know by now, you will never know. That's why I say it's a lot of our people that's going to get left behind. We can't keep telling each other, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen. If we can't keep doing it, it's too late for that right now. I remember Kalai, and I'm not going to stay on here for a long time. I know it's late. I just got home from quote unquote work, and I just got on YouTube and I saw your video, because I always listen to you. And my kids listen to you. By the way, my kids are still vegan. We still vegan. They not in the public school. I pulled them out doing COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I dismissed it since then. And you probably don't remember me telling you this, but they became holistic before I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I did it. But anyway, moving past that, it was something divine regarding you, because where I live at, it's a lot of people that's not like me. And I just didn't feel comfortable. But you have to, wherever you at, wherever you can afford, you have to be where you're at, and you got to make it work wherever you at. And I felt uncomfortable, and I just kept telling myself in my mind, they don't belong here. They don't belong here.
Right.
A week later, your video popped up on my phone. I meant to tell you that the last time I talked to you, but it didn't cross my mind at the time. But something kept telling me that these people that's around me didn't belong here, and that's when your video popped up. That was divine timing, because once I started listening to you, that's when I started seeing things different, and I started thinking back on what I was taught when I was a child, and I started thinking back about God and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt told me, she told us this when we were kids, you supposed to put God before your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started having kids, my aunt reminded me of that.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, Devin, well, that's my real name, Devin. She said, God come before your kids. I asked her why. And she was like, you're not supposed to question God. And I kept questioning her why. I felt some type of way.
Right.
When she told me, you're supposed to put God before your kids. And I'm thinking in my mind, why should I put somebody or something that I never saw before my kids? I never forget that to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I felt some type of way towards that.
Right.
That's why I don't disrespect people's religion or whatever they got going on. But I didn't feel right about that since then, and I don't feel right about that now. I know there's no such thing as God. I try to tell my family that. But, I don't know what it was or what was done to us, but we worship that particular situation. I know it's not.
Right.
Whatever I went through, whatever I got through, whatever I've been through, I did it on my own.
Come on.
If God helped me, if I'm praying to you to help me get through something, then why, and I can't question you on what I'm going through, if something terrible, tragic happened to me, I can't ask you why that happened to me knowing that I'm a good person. I'm just supposed to pray to you to make myself feel better.
Right.
But you're never there when I need you.
Right.
I'm just trying to tell our people that's listening right now, you got your own opinion, you believe in what you want to believe. There is no such thing as God. Jesus do not exist. Why would God kill his child? And then his child turn around and say, God, why have you forsaken me, when he started feeling all that pain? Did he talk him into that? I question a lot of things. Once I started having children on my own and realized the responsibility that I have for my children, I question all of that, the so-called religion. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me how to take care of my kids. You can't tell me how to feel. I'm not going to put you before my children. They can't. I had them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another form. That's another form of abandoning yourself for something that is invisible, something that no one has ever seen. That's another form of mental illness. Like, you know what I mean? When they tell you don't question God, that also puts you in a state of inferior. And why wouldn't you question someone that supposedly knows the future? So if he knows the future, why would he literally create a race or species that he already knew that was going to do some of the most dangerous and devilistic shit on the planet? So to children, that's even what's even more sad. So it's one thing if these people just was fucking with grown people, but these people have done some of the most horrific shit to children, infant babies, and that speaks volumes to me. So I don't give a French toast about none of them gods. And I believe, and at one point in time, I believed in all of them. But here's the difference now. It's a difference between belief and knowing. When I come to know thyself, there is no fucking God. Period. So.
And you know what, Kalai? You're right about that. And God loved everybody. Why would he create different species? Because I know about the Arabs, I know about the Chinese people, I know about the white people. But it's other races on this planet. I know it was a lot of mixed breeding, colonization, pillaging, and whatnot. But the so-called, the people that they call the Mexicans, they played a part in it too. I mean, I'm not going to get all off into that, but I know it's a lot of them that played a part in it. Even the ones they call the mulattoes. It seemed like everybody played a part in trying to keep us from finding out who we are and how much power that we have. To make somebody feel like they're inferior to you, they have to lie to you. They have to make you feel like they're inferior to you, and they feel like you will settle for it if it's in number.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a lot of damage. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And I really appreciate the phone call, but I want to see if I can get some more phone calls on here and before I go. No problem. I greatly appreciate the phone call, my sister.
Bye-bye.
And you have an amazing rest of your evening.
You too.
All right. She's speaking nothing but truth. I mean, I want to share some more videos, people. This is, like I told y'all, I'm going to share some videos tonight. I'm going to share some shit tonight before I get off of here. And again, I don't know what happened to all these Neanderthals or pink-skinned people that write all these long-ass soliloquies inside my DM about how they are true species, but yet I don't see none of them here. In all, approximately 20% of Neanderthal genome appear to have survived in the modern human gene pool. Various estimates exist for the proportions, such as 1 to 4% or 3.4 to 79% in modern Eurasia, 1.8 to 2.4, 1.8 to 2.4 in modern Europeans, and 2.3 to 2.6 in modern East Asia. Abundance and gratitudes. You're live with Kala. State your name, city, and state where you're calling from, and your thoughts and your opinion.
My name is Justice. I'm calling from Houston. And I've actually called in before, but I actually have a bit more of an organized question for you, because I'm interested in figuring out how you view the differences between, the Black folks and everyone else. So one of the things that I really want to ask you is, first of all, the haploid and diploid question. So you stated that women are XX and men are Y, males are Y, at least with the organic people or whatever. But I feel like, that doesn't necessarily make the most sense of how, I understand that there is, haploid to diploid story, but why would women have 2 chromosomes and then the man only have 1 and not an XY chromosome if the woman has an XX? Because you're getting them from either parent. So how does this function necessarily?
I don't really get the question that you're asking me. Maybe you can start over and ask the question again, because all right.
So the question I'm asking is, can you explain to me how it is that males have only a Y chromosome? Is that what you believe that, right? That males only have the Y chromosome, correct?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. Okay, and then the women have the XX chromosome?
Yep.
How is this possible?
Because men come from women. We're 2.8 genetically, and we're a mutation of women. Women are the leading species on the planet. More importantly, Black women.
Okay. How does the X chromosome turn into a Y chromosome?
Well,
and then what would be the use of the sperm?
Well, the sperm is in her DNA. The sperm is in her bone marrow. So when she gave birth to a male, whereas though that she doesn't need a male, because she can actually reproduce asexually. However, at this particular time and moment, she does need a male in order for her to create further future life. So everything that's in my genetics, she already possesses that.
Okay, then why? Okay, then what is the point of the male sperm? You said she can reproduce by herself, but she can at this moment. But again, like, where does the male sperm actually come into play? Because what would be the point of it? Are we giving her something? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
Right.
Like,
Everything. No, that's not what I'm saying. First of all, out of the question that you're asking, if you actually answering it yourself. So to be honest with you, if you actually sat back and thought about the question that you're asking. So here we go right here. Let's just state this, right? The so-called black woman, she is the leading species on the planet. Her genetics feeds, nurture. Without her, no other life form would be on this planet. Even pink-skinned people. She didn't birth them, but her stem cells were used in order to create them. So everything that I have in my genetics came from her. I am a mutation of the so-called black woman. I am created in the physical realm to create physical reality for her, meaning though I can manipulate nature, the physical aspect of life. She deals with the spiritual aspect of life, of bringing life onto the planet.
And it just can be done at will. That's the thing.
What do you mean it can be done at will? It's done every day. Don't you see black women and black men having babies together? I'm not confused. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, because I'm wondering, say in her original state where she doesn't need a man, how does she turn that X chromosome into a Y chromosome?
Well, I never said she doesn't need a man. She doesn't need a man to actually reproduce at one point in time in her life. No, she didn't.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Is it because, like, are you saying, I know you also believe that we're mutations as well as males, and
we're we're a mutation of a black woman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's something where I can envision the world that you're talking about. Yeah, when you say that. But again, how does the woman have two chromosomes though? Like, why does she have two chromosomes and we only have one?
Because if you're less than her, why would you have the same chromosomes as her? Because she's carrying female and a male baby inside of her womb.
Okay. It's kind of like with ants, right? Am I correct with that? Like, yeah, the female ant, the queen ant, she has the ability to give birth to
females and males, right?
And males by herself with no really. I mean, I guess she needs some form of interaction a little bit, but that's it. I mean, okay. Well, I can envision that. So, is a black woman haploid? I mean, diploid? Is she diploid or haploid?
No, we're haploids. When you look at she has two chromosomes, right? But when you look at her chromosomes are not recessive. So when I say how did we go from haploids to diploids? Diploids are 46 chromosomes. 23 of those chromosomes are recessive genes. She doesn't have any recessive genes. Even though I am a mutation of her, I'm not recessive. So I can absorb sunlight like she can absorb sunlight and convert it to energy. The difference between her and me is that I cannot bring physical life into this realm. I can physically manipulate this realm because of my strength, because of my mental strength. I can physically manipulate this realm. She can't. You're not going to see a black woman going out there willing to build a house. You're not going to see a black woman out there willing to fucking lift up a car and change a car tire. Not saying that they can't do it if they want to do it. I'm not saying that. So if any black woman want to get upset with me about I can change a tire, I can do that. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to change oil? Do you want to build infrastructures? Do you really want to put down asphalt and concrete? Do you really want to build a house? Do you really want to do the roofing and plumbing that has to do that? Do you want to do the job that actually has to do a plumbing and roofing? No, you don't. No woman that's in their feminine energy wants to do that. Now, creating life, feeding your baby, nurturing your family, that's more comfortable because that's more in her natural state. Me moving blocks and cutting down trees and building up houses is more of my natural state. It's a balance for one another. But in our true essence, no. She doesn't need, when we're going back to the time where as though on this planet there were majority women. Absolutely. There are going to be males here, but it was majority of women on this planet. And men, we build a lot faster than what we're building today. We build a lot faster back then.
We built faster before, I guess, the complex hub came through.
Absolutely, because we use sound waves and frequencies to move bricks and boulders. That's why we were able to build the pyramids. That's why there's a lot of large statues that you see in certain areas. We were able to do that because we understood sound waves and frequencies. And males did that collectively together. Go ahead.
I got you. What is our state of nature anyway? Because what you're describing, I mean, based on what you're describing, everything that you said in its totality, it makes sense that the earth is exactly the way it is because the test needs to continue to run. Even if you were to say it meets its end or whatnot, because you describe a phenomenon where we have an intergalactic species that are inter-universal. I don't even know. It's just it's a big group. It's a big group of our people or whatever, and they're everywhere. Okay, so what I'm confused about too is like, why would we? I feel like the point of the test, I guess, would be to kind of like not necessarily is to disrupt our state of nature. Maybe not to necessarily go back to it, but maybe to adapt new people. So, I mean, even though you did describe these people as being unnatural, recent to the planet, all these different things, something that really kind of doesn't make sense to me is why would you create this whole test for it just to end in these people's destruction?
And then what people's destruction?
Well, you talk about the complex cells.
Well, yeah, but
everybody else,
right.
That's not us.
Right.
And I'm like, and even then, it still leads in our destruction.
Right.
Like, because you described a bunch of black men getting wiped off the planet too.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
if you don't think just looking, if you were on the outside looking in and you're looking at a group of species that you know, but they may have forgotten that they are the leading superior species throughout the entirety of the cosmos. And not only that, you know that aspect, but here we go. When you just look at the group of species themselves, this is why we're constantly reminded of slavery. This is why we're constantly reminded of the species that are destroying us, as far as injustice, as far as police brutality. We're constantly reminded of that. So when we look at that from the outside looking in, and you say, wait a minute, this species know that this species enslaved them and did some of the most horrific shit to them. Now they're voluntarily taking their children to be educated and medically evaluated by them. Where is the men standing up for this? Do you see hippopotamus males conforming to fucking lions? And I'm not cussing at you. I'm just using, because that's a passion that comes out of me.
I get you.
Okay, so do you see?
Good question. I agree.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. You don't see males of any natural species on this planet conforming to another species' way of life. Even gazelles and deers, even buffaloes are hunted by lions. Buffaloes do not train their babies to say, you know what? We will stop being hunted by lions if we just send you to lion school and let lions raise you up. Buffaloes don't do that. No natural species in nature conforms to another species. So from the outside looking in, do you honestly think a lot of our black males deserve to fucking go forward on this planet? That we're conforming to homosexuality, bestiality, that we are conforming to slaughtering and killing each other over sneakers, parking spots, and fucking clothing? That we would rather look good than we would rather look good physically than looking good intellectually? Do you honestly think? I'm sorry?
I said food and money addiction too.
Absolutely. So do you honestly think, and I'm included in that as well, do you honestly think a lot of our males deserve to go forward? We are afraid to speak.
Word because I mean, you describe Mother's Universe giving us this light, and I think I disagree with it being necessarily a test. I have to agree because I mean, like I can't necessarily look at the world the way it is, act like I live the way it is, listen to what you have to say, and connect that back to my reality and deny it. I'd be a fool. So just looking at the totality of it, here's my reality. It's like, sure, it may be a test, but we're here still at the end of the day for joy. So I feel like prioritizing joy in your life, which is probably going to be family for most people, is probably going to end up a better path than prioritizing necessarily trying to prioritize, I guess, things from a negative and fearful standpoint. So thinking that you're obligated to do certain things that you may not be obligated to do. I mean, that's just kind of what I believe with it, mainly. It kind of goes back to the whole idea of the test. Because again, I can't see mass casual. I can see it obviously happen. I mean, if the world would allow it, then yeah. But if the universe is supposed to be so generous, there's no way. That's my thing. Because it's like, is she gonna be unforgiving about it? Is she gonna be like, all right, well, y'all just either gonna have to do it again or whatever? Or is she just gonna let everybody take the time to build themselves up and be the people that they need? Because
what this is where the tribulation comes in at, because the universe could have said, you know what, forget it, and wipe the whole chessboard clean. But it's a reason for the white sun. It's a reason for the ozone layer being removed, because it is allowing more ultraviolet light, photon light, which is hitting a different portion of your brain to wake you up from the sleep and slumber. So that way you can get back and become who you supposed to, get back to your natural self and become who you supposed to be. Absolutely. So she is generous. She is giving everybody grace. She understands that we have been physically enslaved. She understands this. It's not one species of intelligence that don't know that our people have been enslaved and underneath some of the most horrific abuse of life. But at this particular time and moment, we are choosing our enslavement because we have fell in love using under Stockholm syndrome. We have fell in love with a species more than we love and value and appreciate ourselves. So if me as an individual can wake up to the self-destruction that I was committing to myself and my community, why can't someone that is well educated inside of this world, that have never been in jail, never had any problems with the fucking police, but well educated, you mean to tell me that I'm the only? It took someone that grew up in fucking with his grandmother in North Philadelphia, shot multiple times in juvenile hall, went to the penitentiary. You mean to tell me I come out and read a book and learn about chromosomes, and I come to these findings, and you mean to tell me people that ain't never been through none of no shit like that, and they read so many goddamn books, and they can't come up with a reality? Wait a minute, you cutting me off. They can't come up with the fucking reality that they are underneath a sleep and slumber and being lied to and manipulated. Hold on for 1 second. Let me share my screen one time. Give me 1 second here. This is better. Let me go over here. You see this person right here? John Telegato. This is his books. American Education. The Underground History of American Education. Weapons of Mass Instructions. Dumbing us down. This was a pink-skinned, so-called white man that sat back and did the homework on the education system. Not one so-called black person or activist have actually sat down, and I'm not saying that they haven't done it, but I'm saying to the current date, as many of you got some black activists right now that want to build schools for us and use the same fucking curriculum that the pink skin race is using. No, that's not making us better. That's not making us better.
You're doing your job right now. I get your complaints and I get your anger and everything.
I'm not angry.
Now,
disappointed.
Well, disappointed.
Yeah.
I get your disappointment because you see a very powerful people. Because look at it. Let's just be real. Just looking at our history, even the most you have basically former slaves compete with white folks in the same generation. Like you had people who were born in slavery and were able to become doctors during this time. So it really just shows, about the limitlessness of, our people and everything. But my point is, there still is like the brainwashing element of it. So it's something that people have to kind of come into awakening to. It's not necessarily something that you're just going to open your eyes right to. It's universal divine timing. I don't think a lot of our people are as malicious or that they want to be that enslaved. It's just the fact that they just can't realize they're still a slave. Because the main thing that I've noticed, for me at least, is every time you think that you're doing something good, you realize that you can do something better. So you realize that you're always at the infinite mercy of Mother Universe in that regard, because she's like, damn, yeah, good job on eating less meat. Now you got to start actually fasting. Now you got to start actually eating fruit. Now you got to start actually doing this. It's like one thing after another. So, I mean, that's kind of why I really don't think, or I don't really foresee things playing out so negatively, unless people are just being that malicious, unless people are truly wanting to be slaves that bad.
Okay, so what do you mean by you don't see things playing out as negatively? I want to understand what you mean by that.
So a lot of things, I already know this off the bat. So a lot of things can appear negative in the world. So like wars, mass murders, things like that. And then they can end up actually being something that doesn't have to be that bad at the end of the day. It's something that can.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Benjamin Netanyahu dropped a bomb on a hospital in a school filled with children and women. Explain the positive in that.
I'm not going to take it that far. I mean, I'm just trying to give like a general layout. I'm really not going to take that far. I would not take it that far. No. It's not a good thing at all. For the most part, it's not a good thing. But it's really just every reality is happening in your mind. That's what you described. So, I mean, it's a manifestation of how we're viewing the world, correct? Is it not? Is it not a mental manifestation of how we view ourselves and how we view the world and how we view ourselves as being powerless? So, I mean, to me, it's not a good thing, but it's a good thing in the sense that I'm waking up. I'm looking at this event and I'm understanding something from it. What am I expected to do from looking at this event? From people reminding me about this event? What am I supposed to do with this information? Like what? So you kind of just process it and you kind of make a conclusion. And the conclusion that I would come with that type of information is, oh wow, I mean, shit. I guess this is kind of how I view politics. It's like, oh damn, there's nothing I can do. I'm just a powerless, whatever. And I mean, that's BS, really, in all capacity. It's not. I mean, you don't even have to think about just the political system. It's just your whole sociology. Everything about your daily sociology doesn't have to be kind of like what's it called? You don't have to see things as negative just to see them as negative. You can spin them as a positive. If that makes
All right.
sense.
Well, what was the positive? What's the positivity of 460,000 children going missing in America a year? 8 million children going missing.
You're doing it right now.
I'm asking you. Wait a minute. I'm asking you. What is the positivity in it?
What's the positivity? The positivity is the fact that you're able to spread awareness about this issue. So now people can actually think about it, and you're causing a chain reaction by doing it. So that's the positivity, because somebody's going to have to get this information. This information is going to be out there. It's going to keep stockpiling up and up and up, and it's just going to, it's going to have to spread eventually. That's what you're showing me.
Well,
really. So I think it's
well, let me tell you something.
It's bad that it took this.
I wish I never had to do this. That's what I would tell you. So it's nothing positive. You can look at it as a positive, but I wish I never had to do this. I wish all children were safe, no matter what the ethnicity is. I wish all children did not suffer under the abuse and this totalitarian beast of a system. And it doesn't make a difference at this particular time what ethnicity. I just care more about my species at this time more than any other species. So you can look at it that way that you want to, but for me, this really saddens me. It really bothers me that I have to get on YouTube and speak about our genetic differences, because this very species that I'm speaking about has shown absolute zero mercy when it comes down to the abuse of women and children, and more importantly, so-called Black women and children and men. I thank you for your long soliloquy, man. You have an amazing rest of your night, okay?
All right, you too. Have a good one.
All right. All right. Let me get on over here. Wow. Look at the positivity and the fucking fact of abuse. So All right. Wow. So I was over here. Let me see something here. I was on, where was I at? Oh, sorry. I was on this email. Let me go back to this email. Yeah, I want to read. Share my screen. So modern Eurasia. Hold on. Just that, like that call really took me. I lost. I don't know what happened with my mind with that one. Peace, appreciation, and value. Live with Kala. State your name, city, and state where you calling from.
My name is Jason. I'm calling from Bowie, Maryland.
Okay.
Kala, well, the reason why I was calling, and appreciate you for taking the phone call. This is probably the second time that I've spoken to you. But one of the things that I did want to let people know, kind of like I learned about you. Probably a lot of your subscribers probably don't know that. You've been doing this for like, I think 9, maybe 10 years now. That's the amount of time I've been watching. And one of the things that I realized, like one of the questions that I asked, and I kind of know the answer, but like, how did you know all these things? Like some of the questions when it came to biology, genetics, and I used to, you have the exact same phenotype as a friend of mine. And he used to tell me, one of my best friends who recently passed away. And one of the frustrations that he used to have that I learned, and I don't know if you have the same frustration, is that he was like, even when he was teaching me about genetics, he used to be into like occult, Illuminati and stuff like that. And when I realized later on was like, he was frustrated because he was just trying to teach me the basics so I could learn like the big stuff. And that's one of the things that I learned from you, was that I didn't know and I couldn't understand how you knew all these things, but I knew that you were self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you remind me of one of my friends, the same phenotype. Even when it came to the lifting weights, one of the things that he had, like he was like naturally, his dad was like a bodybuilder. He was just one of those guys. He didn't have to try hard, but when he tried hard to like lift weights, athletics, he was incredible at it. And I remember when I first started watching you, and I was just like, oh, you have the same voice that he has, and he should talk to me all about this stuff, like all that stuff. But one of the things that I learned over the years, I used to say, like, how did, like, even when it came to the sun and the genetics, and I believed you because a lot of the things that you said, like the phenotypes, the plasma, I didn't know about these things, you know, and I'm fairly educated, but, you know, you and I, we grew up the same. I grew up in Harlem, like, you know, how people are, but I was like, yo, how does he know all these things? And the more I started paying attention to the timeline when you were talking about I can't even name one thing, but basically about the genetics and the biology, and people don't even understand how spiritual that. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I learned was like even when you was having that other conversation with the gentleman, you're not angry, disappointed, and part of the reason is like people don't even understand. This is just like the beginning. This is not even what you're telling people.
Mm-hmm.
Is like you're giving them the rated PG version. Mm-hmm. And I believe that you want to get to the really important stuff, but it's hard because people don't, you know, they can't get past the basics. You know, the phenotypes, the biology, you know, even the bloodline. Like through learning about you, I even went back and I remember you were talking about NASA, and I was like, nah, there's no way in the world that's true, when you were talking about what they study in space, which is plasma. And I went and looked back and I was just like, oh my God, this is really what they study? This is like really like, I couldn't believe it. And I remember you did like a show and you were talking about how they study blood in space. You know, they study plasma, you know, in the Arctic, in the space stations, and all the treaties and stuff like that. When I went and looked it up, and I was like, yo, this dude I just, I'm not trying to gas you up or nothing like that. But for the past 9 years, the thing that I want people to understand, like this stuff, I understand how you know it now. Because like I said, when you were talking about, I started fasting, I went through a transition in my life where I didn't even know I was fasting. But when I started listening to you and like when you were talking about the animals and the bees, and I started to feel bad, like am I godlike if I gotta consume another animal's life energy to survive? And when you came up with the breatharian stuff, when you were talking about that, it was like people don't understand that. That's one of the things that I respect about you. It's not that you give the problem, but you always give them a solution. It's just that they don't even understand there's a problem for you to even, speak more about the solution.
Right.
That's the frustration of it, is like, and like I said, I realized I didn't understand how you knew it now, but even like I said, just getting, like, it's hard to get to people's head, like literally, Collide, like I've been 2 hours a day with my children, with my family. It's a little harder with my wife, but I try to tell them to get sun, get a lot of sunlight, get natural, organic water, stuff like that, pH balanced water. And, I'm not great at it, but I do it as much. And I realized, like, that's where it's like, that's how he did it. You're getting the information internally.
That's right.
I was, because at first I was like, yo, how is he doing it? Because I can tell that you're self-taught. Like, I can tell by some of the words that you use and the way that you, I can tell, because a lot of my education, I went to school, went to college and that, but I learned more teaching myself. So some of the patterns, that the way that you talk, some of the words that you use, I was like, nah, he's self-taught. Because a person that's not self-taught, that learned through the books, they learn how to, read that word differently.
Yes.
So because, you're self-taught, you're going to read the word for what it is. Like, a person's going to look at the word breakfast and say breakfast, but Khalid's going to say break fast.
Right.
Because it's like, hey, listen, this is what the rules are. I don't care if you break them, but you can call it breakfast, but that's literally break fast. And people don't understand, like, learning the words, learning it, like, on your own, you have a deeper understanding of it. Like, but like I said, Khalid, what people don't understand is, like, once you start doing the things that applying to it, as far as the fasting, learning these things, the information comes to you.
Yes.
Like, can't explain it. There's no sugarcoating. There's no, I'm going to do this. No, I'm talking about, like, I've been doing this 9 years, like literally, and Khalid, in the span of that time, I am 48 years old. In the span of that time, in those 9 years, Khalid, I had 2 children, adopted a child, got married, bought a house, like, and I have a 9-year-old niece from Jamaica. My wife and I are helping her raise.
Abundance,
and like, I just want to give you your flowers, because a lot of that stuff, the way I was able to navigate it and achieve those things. And on top of that, Khalid, I haven't worked a regular job in 9 years.
Abundance, my brother. Abundance to you. Come on. That's right.
And at first, this is before I forget, Khalid, and I appreciate the time. One of the messages that I wanted to, and I've learned that from you. People don't understand. Like, I was telling my wife, like, it's the darkness. That's what it is. Like, if you're not afraid, like, and I realized in every part of my life, every time I achieved something great, it was like a little bit of a darkness. You know how you go through something to accomplish something. And I was like, wait a minute. When we're born and when we die, it's the same thing. We go through the darkness. And what this world shows you is, like, they scare you to be afraid of the darkness. And people don't understand that's how you were sent. Even if I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, but even if you look at the story of Jesus, he didn't become who he became until after they killed him. He went through the darkness. And what people don't understand, I tell my wife and my children, like, I have a 13-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and I have my 9-year-old niece, and I tell them every chance I get, don't be scared of the darkness. Don't be scared of the dark, because that's what they try to trick you.
Yep.
And so you're thinking, like, oh, I just got it. Yes, you need the light. But everybody knows that. People don't understand, like, everything. When you think about a butterfly, a baby being born, it wasn't born into the light. It was dark in a mother's womb. even when we look at the Bible, it tells you it was darkness before the building even began, and that's what they try to scare you away from. Be the darkness, be afraid. Like I have a brother-in-law whose wife is Caucasian. I love her. The only thing that pains me is like, man, you know, they have a child, which is my niece, beautiful, you know, biracial girl. Like, I don't want no harm to come to them.
Right.
But at the same time, I understand what it is. Not because I want harm, but in case things go down the way that I believe they're gonna go down, for me to be prepared to, you know, like I said, like, I don't know, none of us want to hurt a child. Like, I can't even, the things that these people do, I cannot even do it to an animal.
Yes.
Like,
come on, brother.
Like, I can't.
Come on.
Like, if like a ant or something is in my house, I'm literally trying to put it outside instead of killing it, because it's like, nah, it's just, and I wasn't like that before, and I credit you for the understanding and opening my mind up. People don't understand how easy it is. Once you open up your mind, it becomes so simple.
Yes, my brother. Give me 1 second, please. Bear with me for 1 second. Bear with me for 1 second.
Yes, go ahead.
My apologies, brother. I've been sitting here all this time drinking water. I had to go use the bathroom real quick. My apologies.
I appreciate it.
No doubt.
No, but one of the things that, you know, like I said, Khalid, like, people don't understand how easy, once you open up your mind to like the simplest, you know, like I would love, trust me, I would love to tell you like, oh, this brother Khalid's been wrong about something. No, I realize he's not even, you're not even giving him the terrible version. The PG version. You're trying to ease it up in there like, hey, get prepared. This is gonna get, like, I've seen it. Like I have at least 8 years of watching you, paying attention, studying, getting the books. And I'm like, yo, this dude ain't never been wrong. Like, I'm trying to think just to make it sound, you know, fair, not too biased. Like, man, when was something that he said that was, yeah, don't get me wrong. The timing, people don't understand. People mistake timing for being wrong. When you're looking at the pattern, timing can be wrong. I can be a year off. I can be 3 years off, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And what's wild is, I remember when you said that, you was like, yo, it's gonna speed up. It's not gonna take a year for you to see. It's gonna come from, oh, it used to take you 2 or 3 years. Now it takes a year. Now it's a month. It's a week. And that's just things that I just be thinking about. Sometimes my wife be having the same thought. I was like, wow, it's literally, you know, Mother Nature just giving us this information. I even tell my children, hey, when you go outside, sit in the tree. Like, my kids hug trees.
Yes.
And I used to, when I was, before you broke it down scientifically, and I realized, like, wait, we're not carnivores. We're more like trees.
That's right.
Like, people don't even understand how much of a cosmic creature trees and bees are. And I was like, oh, we more like them.
Yep.
And Khalid, I just want to thank you. And I appreciate you. I know you do this because you have to, because I know you don't even want to, and I understand the disappointment. But I appreciate it. I'm a black man, 48 years old. I got a couple of children, happily married, my wife and I. You know, but I understand I appreciate you because I understand your frustration. People don't understand you doing it because no one else is doing it.
I value
and the things you're doing is not even what you want. You want to get to the good stuff. You want to, like, literally, I feel like I want to get to when we start flying, but we can't even get to that because they don't even understand, and you can't ascend without understanding it. Like, that's the thing people don't understand. Like, you not even understand. My apologies. Understand, overstand, to comprehend. Like, this is the basic stuff. Like Kala is literally giving you the PG version just so you can adjust to when it's terrible. Like you're not even giving the bad stuff. You're just giving like I understand it from your perspective because I've had to do that when I talk to people these things. You got to kind of ease them into it, but we at a point now, like if you don't understand it by now, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, my brother. I greatly appreciate the phone call. Much appreciation and value to your family. And you know, like I said to you, brother, I really thank you for the information that you shared. And I know you don't have to work. You don't have to do any of that, because when you put family and creativity over money, the universe is going to provide you and give you everything that you need. That's something I do know. So I greatly
You are 100% right. I appreciate you.
No doubt, my brother. You have an amazing evening.
You too.
All right, peace to you. All right, my people. So listen, I want to read this real fast to y'all, and I want y'all to understand something here. Hold on, let me go back here. I want to read something to you. So our brains are folded in our head, and our brains are designed in a complex way. So we have what you call sulcus and gyro. Now these gyrus are like the grooves of the brain. When you see like the little lumps, this is what they say, the little grooves that are in the brain. The sulcus are the separation. They create separations from different parts of the brain. So I want to pull this picture up. Give me a second. I want to show you something. I don't want to take another call until I'm done with this, because this is very important, because I want you to understand what I mean by why these people, their brain is not communicating correctly with one another. They're not communicating, and they create this with you all, with us, so that let me put this down here, man, because now I don't know what the hell is going on with my screen. Okay, cool. So you look at this image right here. Let me bring this down. You have your central sulcus, you have your parietal lobe, your occipital lobe, your cerebellum, you have your lateral sulcus, your temporal lobe, and your frontal lobe. You see this right here? You see this? This is the front of the brain. This is the stem part of the brain. This is the back part of the brain. This is your occipital. This is your priority. I can't even get this shit out. Parietal lobe. Excuse me. Parietal lobe. My apologies. So again, like I said, when it comes to these medical terminologies, you know, I may mispronounce a word, but I know exactly the functionalities of it. And let me show you. Let me share this with you. The reason why I wanted to show you that graph before I went to this graph is because, oh gosh, our computer is just doing its own thing today, buddy. I tell you, it's doing its own thing, buddy. Woo! All righty. So here we go. And you have those grooves, and then you have these sulcus, which separates. And then you have white and gray matter. The more white and gray matter you have in your brain, the faster you can process information. So I want to read this to you. The grooves in the neocortex are called sulcus, singular sulcus, and the ridges between the grooves are called gyrus, singular gyrus. No real difference exists between the neocortical tissue visible on the surface gyra versus that down in the sulcus. Now I want you to think about something right here. As I'm reading this, I'm going to further explain it to people if you don't understand what I'm saying. When I tell you that, when I say to you that the reason why the complex cell cannot have empathy, they don't think, they're very impulsive, and even us when it comes to quick shootings, arguments, because the parts of our brain, we are creating separations in our brain, and our brain should grow together as a whole. But when you are traumatized, rape is one of the biggest ones to rewire your brain. And they don't want to tell you this. Rape is the biggest tool. And when you constantly play music, video games, or have watched movies that has to do with physical violence, this right here creates separations in the brain. So let me read this. In some cases, sulcus separate cortical lobes from cortical lobes or functions. Now listen to what that says. In some cases, sulcus separate cortical lobes or functions. It separates it. So therefore, you're not tapping into your frontal lobe because there is a sulcus in the front of your brain. I'm gonna pull an image back up so you can see it. But in many cases, they don't. In many cases, they don't. In the brain, areas that interact extensively with each other are often close together, but ultimately any brain area can interact with any other area, producing a very complex theoretical packing problem beyond the scope of this book. So don't worry, you won't be asked to deduce the system of gyra and sulcus from this point, from first principle on exam 1. So listen, and if people don't understand what I just read, I'm gonna read it over again because I really want you to grasp and understand what I'm saying. This is the part where when I tell you that these people's brains are underdeveloped, and when they're underdeveloped, they're only able to focus on what's right in front of them. So looking at slavery, they can't see slavery is the direct result of the way that so-called Black people are acting today. Looking at slavery is not the result on why their system is the way that their system is today. They feel like their system is actually built and generated through the love of God, not through the genocide of Black women and children. So once again, in some cases, sulcus separate critical lobes or functions. Critical lobes or functions. When you're dealing with the frontal lobe deals with delayed gratification, creativity. It deals with critical thinking. It deals with problem solving. This is what this does. And it deals with empathy too. But in many cases, they don't in the brain. Areas that interact extensively with each other are often close together. But ultimately, any brain area can interact with any other area, producing a very complex theoretical packing problem beyond the scope of this book. So don't worry, you won't be asked to deduce the system of gyra and sulcus from first principle or exam. So here's what you do need to know. Some of the sulcus separate parts of the brain that do different things, such as the central sulcus that separates the frontal lobe, such as the central sulcus that separates the frontal lobe from the parietal lobe. And some gyras seem to be associated with the particular function, such as processing auditory input in the superior temporal sulcus. But most sulcus and gyra merely represent how the brain is folded to fit in the head and don't correspond to any specific isolated function. Moreover, the pattern of gyra and sulcus vary considerably, not only between human brains, but even between the hold on, let me see. It was supposed to have been a bottom part. I didn't read the bottom part, but even between, you would consider animal brains as well. That's what the bottom part of the book was about. But I didn't need to take that. I didn't need to get that part of the book. I didn't need to take a picture of that. Just think about what I'm saying to you when it comes down to the fact that problem solving, empathy, when it comes to creativity, their brains are underdeveloped and they have a bunch of these separations in their brain, which don't allow one part of the brain to correspond and communicate with the other part of the brain. So when we're dealing with when we're dealing with impulsive people, when we're dealing with, and I got to pull up this other picture. Hold on. I'm not done, people. Yeah, here we go. Let me show you this. When we're dealing with impulsive people and you're dealing with people with animal DNA, this is what you will have right here. Here we go. I don't need to read this whole thing here. I read this before. Large amounts of the brain not developed directly to controlling movement or processing sensory input have traditionally been called associated cortex, although lumping all non-sensories or not also, although lumping all non-sensory or non-motor cortex together under this term is not very accurate. It is clear that associating cortex allow very complex contingencies to exist between what is currently being received by the senses and what behaviors occur occur as a result. And in other words, a large neocortex allow a lot of decoding to go on about what it is you are willing, a large neocortex allows a lot of deciding to go on about what it is you will be doing. So hold on. Let me go back to this image right here. Let me go back to this image right here. Let me go back to this image right here. Bam. Boom. You see this right here? Look at what they share their brains with. Look at the brain. Brown. Look at a brown rat. Look at the domestic cat. Look at the domestic dog. Look at the domestic sheep. This is the back part of the brain. This is the stem part of the brain. Look at the front of the brain. Look at the frontal lobe. Look at this. Look at that. Look at down. Hold on. Let me move this out the way. Look at the domestic pig. This is the back part of the brain. This is the front part of the brain. Look how undeveloped that is. Look how small that is for one. And look at this right here. Look at this. This is the marmoset. This is a monkey right here. This is a rhesus monkey. Look at the brain. And people be talking about Asian people are intelligent. No, the fuck that. None of them are intelligent. Just so that you know. The only reason why you claim them to be intelligent is because we have been dumbed down. The cell phone is us. We actually can communicate with each other telepathically, which I proved this once before. It's called mycorrhizal, the same thing that plants and trees do. We can communicate with each other like that. The cell phone dumbed us down and broke us away from that telepathy. It broke us away from that communication. So, and then you have the human Homo sapien species brain. Even though their brain is large or bigger than the rest of the animals that they shared in DNA with, however, is this on the screen? Okay. However, their brains, all of this doesn't function together. And it's not all functioning together. So now let me stop this and let me go back to this over here. Here we go right here. Among mammalian species, those that we tend to think of as the most intelligent, such as primates, cetaceans, and perhaps elephants, have the largest neocortex. Well, it's not just the neocortex that impacts intelligence. It is the size of the frontal lobe too. The most intelligence among the animals just listed, primates, have the largest frontal lobe relative to the rest of the neocortex. And I don't understand. Let me say this to the people. Let me say this let me say this to the people that have left me so many DMs regarding racist slurs and calling me monkeys and stuff like that, right? But according to your own scientific findings, it's saying that primates, what you share 96 to 98% of your DNA with, have the largest frontal lobe. But y'all still are impulsive. Y'all still are reactive people. You still are people that don't think and have no empathy whatsoever. And you're still overly violent and you're pansexual people. This is not racism. This is scientific facts. So let me finish reading this right here. All right. The most interior, meaning towards the front part of the frontal lobe, is called the prefrontal lobe cortex. This area is highly expanded in primates and particularly in humans. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for the most abstract level of goal planning. Okay, whatever. Here we go right here. Think about this. If you don't have a large frontal lobe, your behavior tends to be dominated by your current needs and what is currently going on in the world around you. Look at what's taking place around the world. Look at what's taking place right. How many times you hear people say, oh my gosh, the world is ending. Oh my gosh, the gas prices are going up. We're losing jobs. Look at the people that are panicking. Things that are happening right in front of their face. Never mind the fucking sun went from yellow to golden. Never mind that the sun no longer rises in the east and sets in the west. Never mind that the sun, moon, and stars have switched positions and the moon is up in the sky in the daytime with the sun. Never mind any of that. Never mind the fact that radiation levels have actually increased exponentially on the planet. Never mind the fact that we not only do we have the South Atlantic anomaly where the hole is being where two holes are split and open up in the ozone layer, but it's also taking place over in Europe as well. The holes are happening in the ozone layer. Never mind that. What we need to pay attention to is Ukraine, Russia, North Korea, Iran, Palestinian, and this is what we need to pay attention to. No, I'm not paying attention to none of that. I know that you all are exercising, and you also, the entities on this planet is looking to downsize and kill off majority of their creations, which is a sad thing, but y'all falling for it. So again, you can call me hatred all you want, but I'm the one that's trying to give you a heads up that these people have set you up for immediate death, and you don't want to pay attention to it because you're more disturbed about the bloodline and race that you are a part of and what you have done to gain your success in this world versus you actually looking at reality and saying, you know what, Kalak could just be right, and I need to reevaluate my life, although it may be too late. But I either need to go all out or I need to really sit my ass down. That's what needs to happen. But it's okay. You don't have to, because somebody's going to sit you down. You're going to get sit down regardless. If you are a lizard, you are either hungry or cold or hot or seeking a mate or in danger of being caught by a predator. See, just think about this. Just think about what they just stated here. If you don't have a large frontal lobe, your behavior tends to be dominated by your current needs and what is currently going on in the world around you. Congratulations, Pindar Moloch, the Dragon King. You have done a successful job with that. Yes, you did. If you are a lizard, you are either hungry or cold or hot or seeking a mate or in danger of being caught by a predator. Sounds just like how they have so-called black people. We either hot, cold, fucking hungry, want to have sex, drink beer, party, go shopping, and then we're fucking nervous because here come the police officers. Oh, here comes security. Here comes this. Automatically, you have a number of behavior repertoires, and your brain selects among them. For example, you may be seeking a mate, in which case you're following the looking for love motor program. Same thing. You may be looking for some drugs and shit. You're following the look for some drugs motor program. When you spot a hawk circling overhead, at which point you switch to avoid hawk motor programming and seek a rock to crawl under. So when I go back and I say to you that hold on, why is this not giving me an option to do? Okay. 1 second here. Okay. So let me go over here. So when I sit there and I say that our brains are developed differently and they're not at this particular time moment to be safe or be around, it's because of that their brains are not fully developed. Their brains doesn't know what to fully develop itself into. And I always go back to the movie Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, whichever one you want to go to. You know what I mean? Jurassic Park was not necessarily everything after Jurassic Park, the first one. They started genetically modifying and creating a species. And in the process of them creating the species, they spliced the species with two to three different other species. And that one particular species did not know how to coexist with the rest of the species. Why? Because of the intelligence of the brain, because the intelligence of the species has been diminished due to the fact of the brain being underdeveloped. So it's constantly in flight, fight, or freeze. These pink-skinned people are constantly in flight, fight, or freeze. This is why they had to get you in the same condition, flight, fight, or freeze. And guess what? Putting us in that condition limit our creativity. It limit our natural ability to harmonize with the planet and actually get our information via through the sun and actually being able to see our surroundings for what it is versus the way they want us to tell us, the way they want us to see it. This is all natural. This is everything that I'm stating to you. It's been proven through science. I'm reading these things to you. They put this information out there. I'm just able to comprehend it and regurgitate it in a simpler form that I can, so everybody can possibly understand it. Am I right? Am I right when it comes down to certain medical things? Majority of the time I am. I don't have a problem with going back to the drawing board and say, you know what? I need to re-look at that because maybe I was wrong about this part right here. But this is why I stick to what I know. The sun, genetics, and our children. And I'm not moving off of that because that's the most important part of our lives. The sun, genetics, and our children, because that's what it's coming down to. We're going to find out if the earth is flat around. We're going to find out who naturally belong here and who don't naturally belong here. If these people are white, the sun is now white. So it shouldn't be a problem with them actually connecting with the sun. If they're actually a white group of people, if they're actually the true white race, then they should not have a problem with the white sun. Not at all. I don't have any fucking issues with that. And anybody will tell you that knows me, I sunbathe continuously. Now I want to speak about a little bit when I was in Africa. When I was in Africa, I sunbathed so much too, it's ridiculous. I just want you to know, like, I love the heat in Africa is totally different from the heat in America. It's a different type of heat, my people. So you have to go there to experience it. So I want to say this here. When I sit here and I listen to, and I have listened to this in the past, I really didn't really pay no attention to it. You know what I mean? Because I always felt like it was nonsense within my heart. But I even more now after I actually went to Africa and spent time there. I didn't go to Africa and stay in a resort. I went to Africa and stayed with the people. I went into a village 7 hours away from the inner city and stayed even there. I want you to know something. It is, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But I would tell you, go and visit it for yourself. Go and visit it for yourself. You would, it has changed my life tremendously. I want you to know something. I would never, ever get on an airplane. I feel so bad that I actually traveled to so many other different places outside of America, and Africa was like the last on my list. It wasn't ever on my list, to be honest with you, because I was so in a sleeping slumber. And for me to have went to some of these other places, Jamaica, that's something different. That's home to me as well. But to me to go to so many other places, you understand, and not go there first, I did myself a disservice. I did my soul a disservice. The moment that I got off the plane in Africa and put my feet on the ground, my people, words can't even explain it. I will tell you that. You have to go and see it for yourself. Are there bad apples everywhere? Yes, there are. I will tell you right now, I felt completely 100% safe in Africa. Completely 100%. I didn't feel like I needed to have a gun on my head. I didn't feel like I needed to have a bulletproof vest. I didn't feel like I needed to look over my shoulders or every fucking 5 minutes when I'm walking down a fucking street. When you walk down their streets, is completely different than walking down ours. And I want you to know that. It's completely and totally different. And I want you to know something. As many as these pink-skinned people put commercials on television and tell you how bad Africa is, you'll be surprised how many of them sitting over there. You will be surprised how many of them just be riding their bikes down the street with that animal fur blowing in the wind. You will be surprised. As much as they tell you to stay away from it. That's why they make the plane tickets from America to Africa so French toast expensive. But I will tell you, it's worth every penny. If you are talking about realigning your soul, you are talking about literally understanding and overstanding your brothers and sisters in that country. and being amongst the people, the most humbling and the most loving experience I've had is when I was in the village. No air conditioners, no all the extra stuff that you have here, that we have here. Even from when I was in the inner city in Banjul, and they have extra stuff in the inner city than they do in the village. Sleeping down on the floor or on the mat on the ground around my brothers and sisters. It was so French toast amazing, so beautiful. It was an honor for me to have met the people that I have met there. No, not worried about no food. So all that shit you talking about, people starving and I know they're not. Food is in abundance. Going up to a tree and grabbing a mango off of the tree. A papaya. An avocado. Cashew trees over there. Walking through the farmland, barefooted, underneath the sun. I can't even begin to explain to you when Bob Marley said, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. When Bob Marley said, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. We are powerful, we are beautiful, we are unique, and we are French toast amazing. Don't believe what they're telling you on television. Don't believe these implants that are here in America to tell you that your brothers and sisters in Africa don't value you and appreciate you. I will tell you that having deep conversations with my brothers in America, brothers in Africa, this is the things that they feel about that disappoints them there, is that we have more than what we need over here, and we kill each other with no problem. I'm in an area where children don't even have shoes, and we got 15, 20 pair of sneakers. I'm in an area where they don't have central air and air conditioner. We got central air conditioner, washing machine, dryer. We have these things. And we kill each other with no French toast problem. So that's what they're disappointed about. They're disappointed that we will sacrifice each other over materialistic things. And then they wonder why we do it. They question that, like, why are you doing it? Because we're doing it. You're not doing it to gain anything. Why? So again, these are the conversations that I had, and this is what they know, that this is what they are true African brothers and sisters that want to build bridges versus burning bridges. That be their concern. That's what they say, like, why? Why do y'all do this to each other? Video games, flat screen TVs. I came back here and I looked at my house and I looked at the things that I have in here, and I'm totally disgraced with myself. And I'm not a person that I don't buy shit. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I'm totally disgraced with myself. Have more than what I need. More than what I need. And to look at children laughing and joking. They just wanted a soccer ball just to play and kick the ball back and forth with one another. That's it. I'm going to take this last phone call, my people. Peace, appreciation, and value. Lawa Kala. State your name, city, and state where you're calling from.
My name is Linda, calling from Ohio. Abundance gratitude. I would like to comment about earlier you were talking about how is it positive for all the things being done, the bombing hospitals and schools and all this thing. Well, I would think, Khalid, that the most positive thing is that we have been awakened. At first, we didn't realize the extent of the world that we're living in, okay? But we do realize now we've waken up. Okay, it's a time that maybe even you didn't feel the way you felt, the way you feel now. Your eyes are opened. And I think it's like us, we all are in unison with this awakeness right now. No, not like we've ever been before. So what's happening now, even in the news, you hear these lynchings, these hung trees, just like in the book where in the book it says about the Romans, they were doing these things. Okay, so I would say that with us, it has been a fear of death that we remain in bondage because we fear death. But now we understand now that we don't have to fear death because we know who we are now. Okay, now listen, I think the Son of Righteousness, the S-U-N of righteousness is spoken about. It's the Son of Righteousness, okay? So what you always talk about the Son is absolutely true. Okay, and we're realizing that. We can live under the sun. We thrive under the sun. The sun destroys other people. It destroys our enemies. Okay? So our life is in the blood. Life is in the blood. That's the reason why they always want our blood. They want our placenta. They want our everything, okay? Because they know this. Okay, but we have to understand that this flesh and blood does not last forever. It doesn't. But we will spiritually last forever. Okay, so this is what we're realizing. And plus, we're looking around now in ways that we never looked around before. It's been going on for years, way back in slavery and stuff. We saw the same things, but it didn't affect us quite the same way. We said, wait a minute. We are all waking up together, and we are realizing without a doubt who these people are. They are our mortal enemies. They are our mortal enemies. Okay? So it even says that, that the ones, it talks about the synagogue of Satan. All of this is written down. They are the synagogue of Satan, right? Now, one thing about, if you look inside the fur of an animal, the pigment is white, straight fur white. I think it's only one animal that I know that has the lamb. The lamb has curly hair. And this is just coincidence. That lamb is symbolic in the book, a lamb, okay? That's a symbolic. He has curly. It's just, to point out. But I just want to, wrap this up by saying that, book, it talks about captivity, bondage. You'll be hated of all nations. You will be the prisoners. The oppressed is all declared from the beginning. So we're living in those days. We're seeing it unfold. We have awoken. We are called back to who we are and who we've always been. I want to say one more thing. I'll wrap this up. When we are born, we open our eyes, or even before we open our eyes, we're crying out. We know something is there. We don't know nothing. We don't even know our parents yet. We don't know nothing. First open our eyes, we see these objects. We don't know what they are. We have to learn this world, everything. And the reason why Black people has, come to the point they start wanting the things of this world. They want to be, we're taught to want this world. We're taught that from, in school, early age. you know, go to school, learn this, go get a job, This world taught us everything. And now we're understanding that the people who rule this world, it says it in the book, is our enemies. The Romans is in the book who rule the world. You know, and they still want to rule the world. Okay, and so we've always been targeted. And the amazing thing is that even right now, we are still being hung from trees. And in the book, the most high sun, S-O-N, was hung from a tree by the Romans. So it's all written down the way you want to understand it, or, you know, but it's there. And they will slay you and hold themselves not guilty. That's written down also. Okay, so the Son of Righteousness, S-U-N, of righteousness, is in Malachi 4:2. And I understand that more that I listen to you. It is about the Son, the S-U-N of righteousness. So thank you very much. And I appreciate calling in.
Thank you again for sharing. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you sharing your thoughts and your opinion. I really do. I really thank you for sharing your vision. I appreciate you, sister.
Abundance and gratitude.
Likewise, abundance and gratitude to you as well. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm going to end it with this, my people, and then I'm gone. So you see the eyes of this species? You see the pigmentation of this species? Movies tell you the truth. You see the eyes of this species. You see the pigmentation of this species. Look at the eyes of this species. Look at that. Look at the eyes of this species. Look at the eyes. Look at the pigmentation. Look at the skin. This was from the movie Descent. And what happened in the movie Descent? What was happening in the movie Descent? A group of species that could not take sunlight went underground and became cannibalistic. They became cannibalistic and could not live and function in the sunlight because of photodermatitis, allergic reaction to the sun. Those that have forgotten their past are deemed to repeat it. I value you all. I appreciate you all. Woman, child, and man, cosmos and earth, eternal light. Each one reach one. This is how we grow. I see you, my brothers and sisters. Thank to all the callers that called in. Thank for the people that were in the chat, good, bad, or indifferent. However, thank you. And for the trolls and for the pink skin race that was leaving me all these messages. I don't know why none of you have called in to provide any documentation or proof to go against that I'm wrong. You know what the sad thing is? Even my own people would at least called in and showed some documentation or proof that I was wrong. I haven't gotten any of that because I'm not falling for the bullshit. I'm sticking to what I know, and I'm sticking to what's important: the sun, genetics, and our children. I'm not going to it. You can talk about what happened in 2,000 years ago, 14,000 years ago. The genetics, DNA, prokaryotic cells are past, present, and future. Period. Slavery was a choice. I don't need to go back there. We can talk about right now, and we can go to the root of each system, each part of this system that is plaguing us. The education system, the medical system, the justice system, the financial system. Every last one of those systems were created off the genocide of so-called Black women and children. And because a system spawned out of that, it's going to die. You needed death to create your world, and your world is going to die because it wasn't created through natural, genuine love and nurturing. It was created through death. And now you all are going to reap what you sowed. Doesn't make a bit of a difference. You can try to point the finger at the fake ass Anunnaki Jews. You're the same genetic makers as them. It's just the bloodline is different. You can point it at Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. You can point at your government. You can do all of that. This system would not work without your fingerprint on it. The system would not work without your imprint on it. You understand? And because you want to point the finger and say that somebody made you put on a uniform so that way you can be a police officer, a fucking a military person, whatever you want to be, you put that uniform on, school teacher uniform, medical uniform, you put it on. So you have to accept everything that comes along with it, not just the glory time in which you were living. Point blank and simple. So again, I value, I appreciate you. And again, you have an amazing rest of your evening. I was glad that I was do this live, and I'm going to do more of these call-in shows. At least once a week, I'm going to do a call-in show on YouTube. How about that? At least minimum once a week. I don't know if it'll be Friday or Saturday, but I will do a call-in show at least once a week on YouTube. I promise you that before they shut this shit down, because Donald Trump is the last president. Now, how you going to be the last president? Because they're going to use the electrical grid going to fuck down is why they can't run another election. And you people don't even fucking see it. You don't even see the writing on the wall. That's how I told you. That's why I said your brains are underdeveloped. Y'all don't even see the writing on the fucking wall. They're going to use the Iran, North Korea, Russia. Oh, it was a hack on the power grid. The power grid is shut down. No, it has nothing to do with it. This is the race against the sun. That's all. Simple as that. Value, I appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of your night, my people. Till next time.